record. We are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Opening lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've gotten this off to the right start, let me tell you. We are
Like
off
I
with
don't
flying
cuss like every
colors.
other word on this show.
Well, like we all don't cuss every other word.
You know what's funny is I was trying to get my parents to
Except for Lauren.
understand what we do.
Yeah.
And we were because I was watching the stream on Tuesday. No. And
Nope, Jonathan, we did not.
and talking about the show, and I was like, yeah, you guys would maybe not.
Echo, Jonathan. Ta-da. Go ahead.
Oh, we may not be able to be heard at all.
No, he can get hurt. It's just gonna have a really bad echo because he's got the.
No,
What?
never mind.
Okay. Wait. You were saying, Runyon?
I was saying, yeah, like I was thinking about it after I was like explaining, like I was like, yeah, the more people that that tune in, the more like we get closer to our goal, and like we can get the average view count up, and they were like, oh, so we don't even have to like actually watch it. And I was like, yeah, you could just like put it on the background. I wish you would. And then I thought about it, and I was like, oh wait,
You told your
I have
parents
said,
what?
I was like, wait, if they're watching it, even if they're not watching it, they just hear me talk, and I'm suddenly just like, fucking, like.
It's gonna be
Just-
beautiful.
Please,
It's okay. You're
please
role
don't.
playing.
Your parents
mom's
like
just gonna
me
go,
right
mom's
now.
just gonna
Like
go, whatever.
your parents
whatever,
like
whatever.
me.
Yeah,
If they
no.
actually listen to me on here, they probably won't like me anymore.
No.
Oh,
They'll
come
love
on.
you. They'll love you even more. I have a kitty.
I don't know about that. Okay.
Yeah, no, it'd be fine.
All right. So.
Don't let them watch dinner conversations. How about that? If that's
Honestly, that would be
We
the
can
one that'd be
make that
easiest for
deal.
them to follow because there's not a plot.
well, okay, that's fine. Just don't let them watch the old episodes.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dinner and a Game. These are the normal conversations that you guys miss out on for the 20 to 30 minutes that we usually get on before the show actually goes live, so I can fix everything that's gone wrong. Because there's always something that's gone wrong. But tonight, we all got on pretty late. In fact, Josh Runyon just got back into town and literally got out of the car and climbed into the gaming chair. So we really appreciate that, Josh. Thank you so much. You're a
Commitment.
trooper.
Woohoo.
And everyone else is came straggling in from their four corners of the universe. It feels like we've kind of had a rough week.
That's
so-
an understatement.
Putting
Yeah.
Yep. So, but we are here because we're here to play a game, and we're here to get out of that rut from the real world and get into the fantasy world. And in particular, this week or tonight, Friday night, is Firefly. And our Firefly game has been, I think, doing really well. We've had some good times so far. I'll tell you that. So we're going to get to that in just a few moments. But before we do that, as always, we have our pre-show announcements. Since Josh, you just got in, I'll go ahead and take Extra Life tonight. Since you're
Your
doing.
face.
Yeah,
That was great.
yeah. You said that, and I was like, oh no. Extra life.
That was
Extra
my
Life
exact face
is-
last week because I'd been in the car for 2.5 hours and then jumped immediately on the stream and I was like, hold on.
But so Josh just got in, so I'll do Extra Life tonight, and Jessica is out sick. She has got some new meds, and they are really messing her up. So she is in bed, and she's actually asleep right now. So I'm just going to let her sleep, and we're going to go on and continue this crazy ride without her for tonight. But what we're going to do is I'm going to do the 8K announcement, which is our new contest to get to 8K. I'll take care of Extra Life. Kessie, do you think you can handle the Twitch thing still?
I believe I can.
All right. In that case, I have backup, ladies and gentlemen. Ha ha ha.
I'm not going to promise perfection or anything.
That's
but
okay.
yeah.
You don't have to promise perfection. You are perfection. That's all there is to
Oh,
it.
God, no, stop.
So anyway, first off, let's go into the Race to 8K giveaway. Right now, what we're doing is we are having a contest in order to get the followers on Facebook up to 8,000 followers. We are at, oh shoot. You know what you should do when you're announcing stuff like this? You should pull this stuff up so you actually sound like you know what you're talking about. I mean, it's not really a huge idea that's so weird or anything like that, but apparently I'm not smart enough to do that ahead of time, and my internet is taking it's not feeling the most comfortable right now, if you get what I'm saying.
You guys, I want to thank our sponsor, Slow Internet.
Slow internet. Actually,
When you need something pulled up right now, slow internet.
No, when you need something pulled up right now and you've been running almost like a gig connection all day, suddenly slow internet.
I'd like to
That's
thank
even the
our
brand name,
sponsor,
suddenly slow
Internet
internet.
Explorer.
Internet Explorer. So right now we are on a race to get to 8K followers on Facebook, like I said, and we are already already at 7,461. So let me tell you guys. Let me let you guys know what we're going to be giving away when we hit that great AK mark. You just saw on the center of the screen that the special edition, limited edition cover of the second edition, not second edition, but second volume of the Vox Machina trade paperback went through. That is going to be one prize. That's going to go one winner on the 8K contest. And okay, good. And that is going to go to one person. We're also doing a second drawing from the same group of people for the 8K followers, and that is going to be for two separate books that are going to be given out to one person. Those two books are the two latest editions of the campaign settings. There's the first one there is Icewind Dale, and then the next one is going to be the Avernus campaign setting. So it's the two most current settings for D&D, and they're both going to be given away with the special edition covers. Now, the big thing about that, of course, with all of our contests where we can do things like order product, those books are going to be ordered from whoever wins local nearest gaming store to them, and they will either be able to get, if the gaming store offers shipping, they'll be able to ship to them, or if they don't offer shipping, then we'll set it up for in-store pickup, curbside pickup, whatever they do, whatever their local gaming store will do for them. And if they have no local gaming store, we have gaming stores we're already working with that we will order from and ship to you. We are not going to be ordering anything off of Amazon for any of our prizes. We did order the Vox Machina trade paperback from the Critical Role store, but we have no choice. That's the only place you can get it. So, but that is on the Race to 8K. All you have to do to enter that contest is like and follow our Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page. There is a post there. I will put it up again once again. There's a post there on the Facebook page for our giveaway for that, and you need to you need to share that post. Once you share that post, you're officially entered. Once we hit 8K, the drawing will happen automatically. The moment we hit 8K, you guys don't have anything to worry about. We'll announce the winners here. We'll announce them on the Facebook page. We'll announce them on Twitter. We'll announce them everywhere. And we will send those out to you as soon as you guys get in contact with us and give us shipping addresses. So that's the Race to 8K. It's going incredibly well. We couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you so much. Next comes Twitch.
So we're running two contests that involve our Twitch currently. The first one is we're trying to get to 200 followers, which we are at 134. So we're getting there. And once we make it to 200 followers, we'll be. Are we still doing the Facebook post, or did we? I don't know. Did that change?
No, we're not. We're not going to bother with the Facebook post. All we're
Got
going
it.
to do
Okay.
is, we're gonna
just go through our 200 followers,
Mhm.
and we'll select one winner to win the set of minis that comes with 3 heroes and a bar scene.
Mhm.
Very beautiful, and they're wonderful. They'll scroll through the middle eventually. And then we're also running our contest to try to get to, not to get to, sorry, for our subscribers. This tomorrow,
Yes, on our show
tomorrow on Dinner Conversations, we will be selecting one subscriber that will win the set of core D&D books, DM's Guide, Monster Manual, Player's Handbook, with a DM screen in the beautiful sleeve all together. And so one lucky winner will get that tomorrow if you subscribe.
And remember, these are the special metallic covers too. They're all shiny. So
shiny.
That's one thing nice about this set, guys. If you guys are, go to the game store, you guys know what it looks like when everyone's throwing down books and trying to do everything like that. At the end of the night, everyone's sorting through all the books. Is this my player's guide? Is this your DM's guide? Whose is this? These covers are unique. They are sparkly. They're shiny. Very few people are going to have them, so you're going to have very little chance of mixing your book up with other people's. That's only one of the incredible features about this book. The other feature is it comes in a sleeve. That means even if this is your first set of books for D&D ever, it will be able to sit on your shelf and not fall over. So, thank you very much, Cassie.
So, there we go.
Thank you very much. And the last piece of business we want to talk about is our Extra Life contest. It's not contest, our Extra Life charity. We are actually doing our best to help contribute to the Extra Life charity that happens every year this time of year. It started in August and it's going to run through November 7th, and we are we're trying to be contributors to that. We are set a goal for ourselves of $2,000, and as of right now, we have raised. I'm going to the team page. I think 750. $725. So $725 of the 2,000. Now, dinner and the game themselves, we've contributed $250 to the cause because we know it's asking a lot, and we always want to be able to lead by example. So we've contributed $250 to the cause, but we've had some fans that have come through in a big way. Some people we've had one person give 150, another person give 100, and then we've had Philip, one of our contemporaries here on the show. He has actually twice now done matching contributions, which means basically anytime we run a show, Philip has come on when the shows he's been on almost every single time, and he's set a goal. Like he said, if you guys contribute, I'll match you dollar for dollar up to $100. And so he's done that twice, and that's amazing. And Jonathan, one of our castmates here on Firefly, Jonathan has said that he will, if we can get the regular viewer numbers on Firefly up to where we can have consistent viewership of 15 viewers, I think you said, Jonathan, initially. Is that correct? Okay. If we can get 15 viewers for Firefly on a regular basis, he will contribute $100 to Extra Life. And if you guys can pull out the crazy and get us up to 20 regular viewers, then he will contribute $200 to Extra Life. So, Extra Life is a charity, if you don't know, that raises money for the Children's Miracle Network, which supports local charity hospitals providing services to children. And this is an incredible charity, and the Extra Life Charity Fund is one of the better managed funds. The majority of the money goes directly supporting the hospitals. They have very little overhead. A lot of their expenses are covered by donations. So a lot of what they, and not talking donations of money, donations of time. So a lot of what they do is allows them to just give the money straight to the hospitals. So it's a great charity, it's well managed, and we really, really want to make sure we knock this goal out of the water. So if you guys can, anything you can give, guys, anything you can give will be greatly appreciated, even if it's $1. Whatever you can give, donate. We just want to make sure we blow this goal out of the water for Jessica's birthday. My wife's birthday is on November 7th, which is the last official day of the Extra Life contributions. So that is pretty much all of it for the contest. But we do have one other thing we want to go over, and that is the Store of the Week. The Store of the Week is another local one here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's Cosmic Comics and Games. Let me see where to go. There she got it before I can even find it again. Yes, Cosmic Comics and Cards. It's in Grand Prairie, Texas. It's probably one of the oldest stores in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They have some great stuff they're doing right now. They're doing curbside pickup. They're doing, they're requiring masks for visits. They're doing social distancing. They're not they're hosting tournaments, but they're doing it with social distancing in mind. Oh no, sorry, they canceled all their tournaments. That's right. They canceled all their tournaments, but they're doing everything with social distancing in mind. They're doing social distancing in the store, curbside pickup for people who don't want to come in the store, and they basically have another process they're doing, which is unique to this to most of the stores. They have a large online ordering presence already because they deal a lot with Magic the Gathering cards online. So they have said that if you need anything shipped and you don't want to come in the store, you may be immunocompromised or anything like that, they will ship gaming product from the store to your house. So you don't even have to go to this store. So this is one of the stores we're really trying to push for. Check with your local stores. It's Cosmic Comics and Cards, and it is at Where's their address? They're 728 East Marshall Drive in Grand Prairie, Texas. If you guys want to, you can call them at 972-264-0617 and check and see if what they can do for you on shipping. I talked to them about this. I said, look, guys, we don't have we don't have a ton of followers, but once we put you on blast on Facebook, we have almost 8,000 followers on Facebook, and a good amount of them are in Texas. I just wanted to make sure they would be okay with that, because that could really send their shipping numbers up. So, but they said no problem. They said they already do a lot of shipping and they're ready to go. All right, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the announcements for today, I do believe. So, last time when we were here, all sitting around, except for Josh, who was once again in a car, unfortunately, we basically we're dealing with the aftermath of the incredibly insane plan that caused you guys to jettison your already wrecked shuttle out of the cargo bay where it had been crash landed, to put it between you and a reaver ship that was chasing you down. That reaver ship, unfortunately, had a ship-to-ship missile that was available. You put one of your crybabies into the shuttle, turned it on, then Captain Parrish actually stood in the cargo bay and opened the cargo locks and let the explosive decompression suck the ship right out of the cargo bay. It tumbled in front of the reaver ship just in time, intercepted the missile. The ship exploded, and you guys looked like you were in the clear because all the debris hit the reaver. All the debris from your exploding shuttle ship hit the reaver ship and apparently damaged it, and they lost power. So you guys took off, changed course and took off and tried to get as far away from them as possible, because you didn't know whether it was permanent or not, and unfortunately your ship doesn't have any weapons to counter them. So you guys basically just hauled sky. Afterwards, Captain Parrish went to go sit with his brother in medbay, and the good Doc. And when we start up this last game, the Doc the captain kind of was holding the Doc's hand and sitting there and watching his brother, and he basically seemed like he nodded off. So the Doc went to get up to go check on Hank, who was still unconscious, and discovered that the captain's hand kind of just limply fell out of hers. And she checked him, and his pulse was thready. He was very pale, and she couldn't figure out what was going on with him. So she called Kelly, the ship security officer, down for help. Kelly helped her get him up onto the bench, and they managed to get him out of the EVA suit. And when they took his boots off from the EVA suit, his right boot was full of blood. And so as they got the boot off, the blood was pouring out of the pant leg of the EVA suit. They checked him over, and they discovered that a piece of red-hot, insanely supersonic shrapnel had gone straight through his right side. And they didn't know if it hit any internal organs or anything like that, but they knew he was bleeding like a sieve, because apparently it had cauterized the wound and probably sent the good captain in shock immediately. But after that, as the captain was finishing moving around from all the, getting jerked around in the cargo bay from the explosive decompression, and then getting back to his feet and moving around and everything like that, after all that happened, he had apparently torn loose some of the cauterized tissue and was then bleeding into his own abdomen and into his suit as well. And so, but because he was in shock, he didn't notice it. So they basically were getting him all set up in the med bay. Doc Harry was trying to figure out what was going on with him. Right about that time, the ship began throwing some klaxon signals, going crazy, saying that the air recirculator was no longer properly functioning. Jude and Bayden went running downstairs to try and figure out what's going on with that, and they found that the air circulator was just beside the controls for the airlock, and that whatever had gone through the captain had also gone through the air recirculator system. So they were trying to figure out what was going on with that. About the same time, Hank, who had who had been unconscious for the time, the Doc hooked Hank up to a intravenous blood transfer unit and was pumping blood back into Captain Parrish because he had lost so much blood he was in serious jeopardy of yeah, Special K Hank. But he was in serious damage of possible serious jeopardy of possible organ failure due to oxygen deprivation because he had bled out so much. So they put Hank on the IV. We're pumping Captain Parrish full of Hank. And as they were doing through that,
Still not a good title.
what?
So it's still not a good title.
Nope.
Pumping.
Yeah, but as they were doing that, they basically got to the point where Hank was basically kind of coming out of it. Bayden and Jude were down in the hole trying to figure out what's going on. They managed to get the air recirculator pulled out, and they had discovered that there was some definite damage to it. But they were doing their best to try and figure out what was going on. Go on. Sorry, my dog is being very needy because my son won't let her in his room. But anyway, so they were trying to figure out what was going on, and they basically didn't. They had an idea that it was. They basically, the gist of what they knew was it ain't working, and they got an estimate that with the current rates of how it was actually what they had in the ship, they had maybe 6 to 8 hours worth of actual breathable air before things went completely south. So they were in a pretty big pickle. About that time, Hank started coming around, but of course, Hank was still on his diet of Special K, so because he had been unfortunately injected with ketamine and was completely unconscious to the point of nearly being comatose. But since they drained half of Hank's blood out anyway to give to his brother, he kind of came around a little bit. So they basically went and they put him. He demanded that he be let up from the bed, and he went down to try and help out. Well, he didn't go down. Kelly had to pick him up and carry him down to the cargo bay so he could try and help out. Through some
Walking is hard, okay, guys.
Yeah, through some incredible rolls and some real massive abuse of the dice pool. Hank basically was able to coach Jude through actually getting everything taken care of, getting the air recirculator back on, and getting everything back up to functioning. So
It's it makes a massive difference whenever you're rolling in your environment.
Yep, when you're doing what you're specialized to do, it kind of helps.
Yeah, it should help.
It should help. Unless someone's intentionally
Sometimes it
replaced the
helps.
labels.
So am I? So if I got Hank's blood, am I in a K hole now?
You're in half as much a K hole. They only gave you a few paints of his blood, but
The amount of times that the word ketamine was said at my job this week, and I just kind of went
cringed.
And there's nobody for me to share this with at work because nobody's gonna care.
Cassie, the better question though is how many bottles are missing now?
Oh my god.
Or are mislabeled.
You're gonna have to go through and categorize you're gonna categorize every single drug in that bag now.
Right.
So anyway, after you guys did that, after you got the air recirculator back online, and it started pumping out air again, and the alarms stopped going off, Jude heard a very familiar sound. The sound of an incoming wave coming through communications. And she took off and started running. She ran up to see what was going on. And when she got upstairs, she discovered that there was an Alliance cruiser that had been hailing them for apparently quite a while. And were very upset that they weren't getting hailed back. And were literally threatening violent action if they did not answer their hail. So Jude replied back and, pretty much she was trying to figure out what to tell them, and it wasn't just an Alliance cruiser. It turned out to be an Alliance assault carrier, which is basically a ship that's designed to carry a fighting ship into a hostile situation. And so Jude identified it as the Excelsior, and it basically told them to halt all forward momentum and prepare to be boarded. They are suspected of carrying illegal and illicit cargo. So Jude was trying to figure out
Nice.
what was going on. They started decelerating, and
I believe they specifically said medical cargo also.
I don't think they did that, did they?
Oh,
No.
I was.
No,
I
they
thought.
didn't.
I thought that's what you
Think so.
said
Sounds
because
like-
that's what I thought. That's
sounds
what you
like
said because
someone-
that's why I started to freak out. Like
like-
internally,
sounds like-
internally.
Sounds like someone has a guilty conscience.
No, I remember those words because it specifically was like, I really hope somebody comes and lets me know.
Cassie, you're carrying 2 bottles of ketamine less of illegal cargo than you had.
Hey.
It's still a massive felony, whatever you're looking at. But still.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Probably
but anyway,
a couple tourniquets and stuff less too.
couple tourniquets. So they basically got hailed by the ship. They were told to slow down, prepare to be boarded, and Bayden said he'd take care of it.
Bayden to the rescue.
And once again,
And he did.
once
Yeah.
again, there were some fucking massive dice rolls, and just an incredible abuse of our dice pool system here. Actually, it's exactly what it's supposed to do. And Bayden pretty much blinded them and baffled them with, not with bullshit though. He pulled out Alliance law as it pertained to the Alliance supporting the Companions Guild. And he basically said, just started just hammering them with a baffling array of things that he was going to report to the Companions Guild if they did not let him continue on with his mission. And that's the name of his penis. What the fuck, Alliance Law?
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, after all that, Bayden basically just blew their doors off and had them panicking to the point where they actually granted the guys an escort to their final location, which was the Blue Star system, which is the furthest system out on the edge of Alliance space. And they intentionally were going as far out as they could, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so they had the Blue Sun system, and they were actually headed to a sun in the Blue Sun system. Where'd it go? Oh, that's Georgia.
Nobody told me it was a sun, though. When I was negotiating with the Alliance, nobody told me we were going to a sun. I thought we were going to a planet.
Well, there's Burnham.
Well, that's
is
what
just
happens when you roll really high on an intimidation check. Nobody wants to correct you.
Yeah. Everybody's
Burnham
just like, oh,
is
he
the-
obviously knows what he's talking about.
Burnham is a sun that orbits on the farthest extremes of the Blue Sun system. So as you come into the system, depending on where Burnham is in its cycle, it could be the first place you hit, or it could be the last place you hit as you leave again. But they were just heading to the Blue Sun system in general. The charts had them going towards Burnham, which was just going to be the first small system they encountered in the Blue Sun system. It is a single sun with a single orbiting habitable planet. A single orbiting once habitable planet that had a horrible terraforming event and was labeled as quarantined. And that planet is Miranda. As they went and as they began, as they made for that system, Jude was doing her best to try and recall from the conversations and from her past, if she recognized any voices or anything like that from the Alliance crew. And some things occurred to her about their situation, and she began to get very, very upset.
Right before that happened, though, I did redirect them because I went to the shuttle to try to get some business and realized you can't get business on a sun or a planet that had a terraforming accident. And when I came back and informed them all of that, that's when Jude started kind of like really pondering through stuff. Mm-hmm. Those words seemed like triggers to Jude.
Yep. And so Bayden invited Jude to come into his shuttle that he's renting in order to talk to her about what they should be doing next, since they didn't really have any directions other than going to Blue Sun. And Bayden kind of led Jude down some line of questioning, and the last thing that happened before we actually quit for the night was Jude realizing where they were headed and realizing what information they might have on hand, and remembering that during Bayden's whole berating of the Alliance and basically intimidating them into giving them this escort, Bayden had sent the ID number of the Reaver ship that had attacked them, which was actually a stolen Alliance ship, which Jude remembered a bunch of Alliance ships had been lost to the Reavers when they were trying to originally hunt down and root out the Reaver infestation, before the Alliance just basically quarantined the area off and stop trying to throw resources at it. So Jude pretty much realized suddenly that if the Alliance put 2 and 2 together and knew that that was a Reaver ship, then it might not matter if they had a companion on board. It might just be more expeditious for the Alliance to take care of this ship before it got anywhere really they could spread any news. So at that point, Jude got up pretty much very upset, started to leave the shuttle, and Bayden revealed something to us out of character.
No, I called the Companions Guild first to make sure they knew we were with an escort, and asked them to give the escort a great thank you.
Oh yeah.
So that it would be less likely they'd fire on us, knowing that everybody else knew what was going on.
Yeah, you did everything you could to make sure that everyone knew where you were, who you were with, and what you were doing.
Then I dropped the bomb.
Then he dropped the bomb that he is a reader. And he actively spent a dice in his dice pool, not only to read Jude's surface thoughts, but to go deep into her mind and pull out the memories that were causing her the most upset, or what was causing her to be so upset. So Lauren and I got together and recorded this little thing, which was Jude's real last strong memories that came from the last things she had in contact with this situation. So what I'm going to do is, guys, if I don't know if any of you have the Twitch stream up, but if you do, Jonathan's the only person who really needs to have it up. So Jonathan, you want to mute out your mic? Okay, good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play what we recorded, and Jonathan's the only person. Everyone else, as players and people watching the show, you guys can all see this, of course, but Jonathan's character is the only one who really needs to see it. So this is this is something that's circulating through Jude's head this is the major memory behind this that you extract, Jonathan. So here we go. So you're sitting in a cold cell room inside of a ship. You've been waiting for probably a good hour and a half. You were in medbay for a number of weeks after you were brought back from this. You don't understand why it was so long. I mean, you broke your arm in the crash, so that was why you weren't doing any real fighting after your ship crashed. But you're with the medical technology, your arm's already knitted, and you have been really thinking about why they haven't let you return to duty. And you were in medical quarantine as well, so you were only seeing doctors and nurses, and no one else was coming in. You don't even know what happened with your unit. You don't know what happened with anyone. But the battle was bad enough that you have fears and suspicions. But you were brought to this room by a security officer who said that there was one last debriefing you were going to have to go through, and that you would be told what would be happening after that debriefing. So as you're sitting there waiting, the door opens up, and a very dapper-looking young man comes walking in. He's got captain's bars on. He's not in standard naval fleet attire. He is in the attire of the senior officer members of Fleet High Command. It's a little bit different dress since they don't serve usually in combat vehicles. They have a different uniform. and he comes walking in, and he's got a tray in one hand which has 2 cups, and he's got another tray in the other hand which has a bunch of pastries in it. And he comes walking in your room, and he says, "So the nurses told me you take it black?" And he sets down a tray, and it's got like donuts and pastries. And he's like, this is a good blend. I hope you don't mind. I took the liberty." And he's holding out a cup of coffee.
I stand and snap off a quick salute.
He's like, "None of that here. This is a formal inquisition. This is a formal deposition." He says, "But this is not going to be under formal military scrutiny." And he reaches, formal military decorum, and he holds the cup out to you again. So
I relax and accept the cup.
he says, "Excellent." He takes the cup out and he sits down. He kind of sits down in a chair and he kind of like leans forward and he looks at what he has in assortments and he picks out a donut and he's like, and he kind of like takes a bite and chewing on it and says, "So, Captain Koviri, first off, let me commend you on the fact that you survived such a harrowing situation." He says, "Incredibly admirable, and admirable. I'm sorry, and it shows the tenacity and training have produced one of the very best cadets that we could have hoped for. Obviously, that was already true because of your assignment to this particular mission." He says, "On the evening of the attack, you were assigned to support missions for ship bombing runs to soften up the initial target. Is that correct?"
Yes, sir. That's correct.
It says, "And apparently you had a mechanical malfunction and you were forced to dust your fighter craft in Atmo, which is understandable. Things happen all the time, and there has been an actual inquest onto your ship. There was a mechanical issue, and you are not in any way, shape, or form in any type of disciplinary actions for that. That has already been taken care of. The flight crew has been adjusted, and there is not going to be any repeats of those incidences, I can assure you. And the Alliance apologizes for your injuries." He says, "I don't think anyone's gotten a chance to say that, have they?"
No, sir, and thank you. That is very reassuring.
He's like, "Good, good. We do have some questions, and we know that you have told this story a number of times that it has made an impression. Your situation is one of only a limited number that we have of people who have been exposed to the attacks of these monsters and been able to recount them in the detail that will be required of a trained naval pilot. So what I am here to do is to get you to recount for me, and I am very sorry to ask for this, but I'm here to get you to recount for me the details of the incident and how you saw it unfold. So I'm going to do my best to help with this." And he kind of pulls out his little data pad and he says, "I have I have the transcripts of several other accounts." And he says, "And I will tell you now that your story is one of the strongest corroborations of all the other accounts. Your story seems to be a unification of certain fallacies that other people put in due to their lack of training and observation that is given to a pilot, and personal problems that they may have with their own performances during that time. Your assessment seemed to be honest and straightforward, so we've decided to come to you to set this complete record straight." He says, "I know this is not going to be a pleasant task, and I start this with an apology."
Yes, sir, I understand.
He says, "Now, Miss Koviri, on that night after your plane was downed, or after your ship was downed, and you were injured, You were close enough that and this has been also, of course, corroborated, that several infantry units encountered you, and one of them sent an escort with you back to get you to a medical tent. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
From what we understand from the battle reports from the cameras for the troops, they met sporadic resistance while coming into the town itself. And as you were coming back to the tent, the few wounded that were encountered there were being brought back to the tent as well. But then the main units came into the actual remains of the village itself. At that point, from what we can see from the cameras on the ships, the cameras on the crew, and the cameras on the personnel, the unit you were with, the medical unit you were with, had one of the best vantage points to observe what would happen next. Can you please tell me or describe to me what you saw at that point? Take it from the point where the first platoon entered the main square and began separating off to do building by building inspections.
Yes, sir. It was quiet at first. The main infantry moved in, and the village was eerie, almost, but it didn't last. Very quickly, the enemy, these monsters, started swarming out from where they'd been hiding, buried like cockroaches almost. They were. The screams were alarming, sir. We could hear it from as far back as we were at the medical tent up on the hill. We could see, as the infantry had split up to do their job, going building by building and searching out these pockets. It wasn't just pockets. These monsters swarmed out, completely overwhelmed them, hacking them apart, and the things that they were doing to the bodies and to the people, the men, before they were even dead, sir, was unspeakable.
We've heard of the barbarous acts they committed, but we've heard some stories, and they have been repeated multiple times. But we need to have this. We need to document this with the best source we could possibly find from all these narratives. And those stories include some actions that defy what we consider to be the laws of common biology and physiology of a human body. We have heard tales of these creatures being able to hurl men feet through the air, and them being able to take horrific wounds, losing literally an entire arm and not pausing.
The tales aren't wrong.
Captain Kaviri, we cannot discount this. There is no way we can discount this. But I just want to reiterate that you are witnessing, for the first time, I think, in your career, actual infantry battle, which is incredibly traumatic, especially with the close quarters fighting you were witnessing, and with the violence and the savagery with which they were encountering these people and what they were doing to these people. Are you sure what you saw was what you saw? It is very important that you are absolutely clear on this.
Sir, I understand it seems impossible, but as sure as you are standing in front of me, what I say is true.
All right, let's move on. The counterattack has been well documented. We were able to download almost all the videos. It was eerie how few cameras on the troops were damaged in the fight. Some have theorized that the attack was meant to be one of shock and awe, and that we were meant to see it, which is why the cameras were left intact in so many. But that's not for me to say. What I am going to ask you, however, is that all accounts, including your own, represent the next events as consistent through all the stories. And those next events have made our job difficult to ascertain the threat level of this new enemy. From what we understand, after the attack and the and the platoon being overwhelmed, the second platoon, which was in a reserve stance, opened fire. And the surge of enemy rushed to meet them, absorbing inordinate amounts of fire in the process. As they tore through the second platoon, the accounts state that once the second platoon had been dispatched, they then, and this is the part that is puzzling, all accounts say that the entire group paused as one, and then turned in the direction of the fleeing wounded who had been being pulled off the field. And as almost one unit began running them down. Is this this was also in your account of the records? Can you give us any insight as to, is this accurate?
It was eerie is what it was. It seemed like they'd thought they'd had their prey. That's the whole platoon, sir. But as soon as they realized that there were still men alive and fleeing from their grasp, the moment of silence as they turned, that brief pause before they started running and overtaking them. Sir, eerie, alarming, friggin' terrifying. It's accurate.
The next steps in the report state that since there were so few wounded coming back, there were so few people between the medical tent and the actual creatures themselves, these death reavers, that you and the pilot of the medical ship began helping people get aboard as quickly as possible. When it became apparent that you were not going to have time to get everyone on board, the pilot made the call, ordered you to seal up and prepare for liftoff. As a dutiful officer, you obeyed orders.
Yes, sir.
From what the ship's cameras showed after this, The pilot lifted off and began pulling away as small arms fire was hitting the ship. I've seen the footage. I know that the ship circled once before you went to leave Atmo. And I saw what they were doing to the people on the ground. We understand that you attempted to order an airstrike on that location. And you were denied by the fleet command because there were still life signs at that location. And the recording of the audio of your reply is not something that I will soon forget. You asked Fleet to spare them and begged for the strike to be released.
Would have been the kindest thing to do at that point, sir.
The reason you've been kept here so long is not due to any medical condition, as you may have guessed. You have been being observed for a psychiatric evaluation. There have been some disturbing and upsetting incidences with the survivors of that battle. Witnesses, mainly. There are no surviving combatants. Your evaluation has been completed and you have been found fit to return to duty. We want to make sure that you understand that the fleet will take care of you. If you do not feel yet able to return to battle, I have been authorized to grant you 6 weeks of leave. This is leave in order you can go home, see your family, rest, and recover. And he kind of stands up and he says, and please allow me one formality out of all this. And he just snaps his legs together and he snaps a salute. And he says, no one should ever have had to gone through that. But I am telling you this because you are a witness. The events on that moon are classified until we understand what we're dealing with. Is that understood, Captain Koveri?
I stand up and I return the salute. Yes, Captain. It is understood perfectly.
He's like, let me know on your decision on the leave. And we'll see about getting you assigned to some quarters now that your evaluation is completed. Thank you for your service, Captain Koveri. And he turns on a heel and walks out of the room.
I sit back down. I just hold on to the cup of coffee till it's cold in my hands.
And we're back. Everyone on
Wow.
pretty please. All right. So Jonathan,
Woof.
that is what and is. We're back. Whoops! I forgot to do something. Everyone on
Wow.
pretty please. So Jonathan, that is the emotions that she's going through, the absolute turmoil you saw in her face, the stuff that made you that clued you in that this was something significant. It's not just that memory of that interview. You get flashes of other memories. Memories of the actual memories of the actual attack. But those, even though you are doing a deep read, those are so repressed, and you can feel basically that this is stuff that she has cordoned off in her own mind to try and maintain her own sanity. But there is some damage there.
I have a couple questions, and I don't know if Lauren's going to answer them or Ray's going to answer them. I've always in game referred to you as Jude, but in the interview they referred to you as Captain with your last name. Is that actually the last name that you go by on the ship that you've told us, or have you given us a different last name? I'm asking because I'm trying to figure out whether or not you've changed your name like to hide who you are, or if you still are going under the name that you were in the memory, if that makes sense.
I don't think we've actually established that.
We did not establish that you had changed your name at all. We established that you had left service, but we never established whether you were actually AWOL or you just left service. You're an officer, so you can technically leave service at any time you want to. You're not like an enlisted where you have a term of service that you have to supply. You know, officers usually sign 1-year contracts and they can walk out in the middle of a contract. So it's up to you if you wanted to be literally on the run, or if you were just like running from your own shadows.
No, like I had taken enough steps, and I have not been using, or at least in my head, I hadn't been using my full name when I had been, since I had broken off with that.
And you've never told anyone on this ship, I think, your full name, except for Captain Parrish.
I believe that's correct.
So that I've never heard.
I don't have any ties.
So it's up to you, and Lauren. Does Jude use a different last name? She could use the same first name, but she could change her last name completely if she wanted to.
Right. I'm gonna say yes.
Yes, you use the same last name, or yes, you changed it?
No, yes, I've changed it.
Okay. Second question, and I know the answer to this is going to be yes, but the memories of the flashes of the things that are happening, pretty damn near similar to the flashes that I got out of Captain's head, right?
Very similar, yes. I would say that's probably the case.
Yeah.
The one big difference is the captain wasn't. Well, the massacre the captain saw, that was more of like a town, a raid where the Reavers came in and took out a small town type thing, right?
Yeah,
No.
I'm just.
What was it?
So yes, but a small group followed us, and that's where Hank found me. Like I was the only person who survived the boarding, and Hank found me up there, amongst the dead.
Right. So it's similar in the ferocity, but one thing that Jude witnessed that was incredibly disturbing was when they all turned almost as one creature.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. I actually have a specialization under knowledge in reader because, like, I've learned a lot about that kind of thing. Is it possible that they actually are using some sort of like psychic ability to intercommunicate with each other?
Possibly. There's also the whole principle of, could they be like a colony of ants?
Yeah.
Almost like an interconnected life form.
Fun stuff.
But if that's so, then that means that if they're that connected to where they can share something like that, then if a Reaver, an individual Reaver, were to get taken out, the other Reavers, who knows how long this can travel over, but the other Reavers would probably know, at least the other ones nearby would probably know about it immediately.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan,
Oh.
it hits you like a tidal wave. You've read people before. You've even read people who have, been in trauma, or people who are, in bad situations mentally. This is very similar to what you got when you read The Captain. And it once again puts all those feelings of paranoia and all those that feeling of just abject terror. It's like, being a mouse in the open and 5 feet away from you is a cat. Death is certain, but this thing is so cruel you have no idea how it's going to come or how long it's going to take. And what terrors you're going to go through before it happens. It's that feeling of being the victim of a super predator.
I am going to try very hard to maintain my composure. So if you want me to make a roll to attempt that, I will be happy to. But I want to try to not make it obvious that I've just done what I've done. Because this is a lot to take in very quickly. And if I don't try to hold my composure, there's no way.
I think for this we're going to need a roll for that type of maintaining your composure.
Yeah. Also, will Jude take kindly to the fact that you've been fishing around in her brain?
That's a sit she doesn't know. We looked that up.
Oh, she doesn't know?
She doesn't know at all.
Yeah.
Readers are actually exceptionally powerful.
Damn.
I'm just going to do 2 dice. Yeah, it's not like D&D where you can charm somebody and they automatically know what happened. This is, they go through the whole process of, they get to delve into your brain with a mental scalpel, and you don't even remember you were under anesthesia.
Okay. So,
all right.
What would you like me to roll?
Oh crap! My roll is going just as good as it always does. So you got a 7, and I got a complication.
I'm going to use that complication. I will buy it, and I will basically create a slow communication complication for our escort, so that their comms don't work as well as they should.
You can't create a complication for anything out of this situation.
Oh.
So it's only a complication dealing with you trying to maintain your composure. You can just say that you can make it. It's gonna be. It has to deal with this situation.
I don't want to buy it then, because I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I rolled really crappy.
All right, so what am I rolling?
That's what I'm looking up right now. It's gonna.
I know it's going to be a focus roll. I just don't know which mental attribute you want me to use. All right. Am I using my reader distinction in this or not?
Yes, you can use your reader distinction in that. Josh, what's going on with your camera?
My camera?
No, Josh's.
Oh.
Which one?
Yeah, Runyon, sorry.
Oh. Well, I still get a 10, so that's a success. It's not a huge success, but it's a success.
But still, that's
proof it's not the fact that I'm on my phone. Proof that it's not the fact that I'm on my goddamn phone.
So let's.
If I bought the 2, that'd be beating you by 5, but that's not really relevant. I don't need a huge success. I just need to keep my composure.
Right. What are you gonna do?
Okay, so I am going to.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I didn't even look at the roll. I was busy trying to fix the cameras. So you have a complication too.
So wouldn't his just cancel yours out?
Yeah, if I choose to buy his, I could force him to buy mine to cancel it out.
Yeah. Are you gonna buy mine, or are we moving on?
Nah, we're gonna move on.
All right. Can I calm the whole ship for my shuttle while I'm docked, or do I have to like go to the bridge?
You're gonna try and calm the whole ship.
Yeah.
You can do that. You've been in close quarters with everyone on the ship for the past 3 months, so yeah, you can reach everyone in the ship.
Crew meeting in the dining hall, like now.
By the way, did you stop Jude? Because remember, she was headed up to the cockpit, and you kind of
Yeah, I
stopped
stopped her. I got in her way, physically got in her way, and then had her watch me like do the thing. And she's like, "You bought us a little bit of time, but not enough." I can tell you're nervous, Jude. We're gonna come up with a plan to try to like settle this. So whatever it is you're gonna share or not share with people to help us with this plan, that's on you. But I think it's time we have a crew meeting and we figure some things out we need to get settled before they get on this ship. My offer for you to get onto my companion's shuttle and hide in here when they get here is still valid. And if that's what you want to do, I'll support you 100%. But we need to talk as a group and make sure we got everything together before they board this vessel.
Might just take you up on that. If we decide to go that route, we may want to consider having Harry's goods on here also, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That's already been taken care of.
Earlier, they said they hid that in a hidey hole. I don't know where the hidey hole is because
Good.
not my business, but they said they put it in a hidey hole.
Okay.
So.
If that's taken care of, then we don't need to stress about that.
All right. So cutting from you guys. Go ahead.
I'm gonna head to the dining hall.
Okay. So Hank, you're about this time. You're feeling much more like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's still that little fuzz on the edge. That now, Captain Parrish.
Yes.
Sorry, not sorry. Currently deposed Captain Parrish. You are coming to, and you are in. Number one, you're in a lot of discomfort, and your head is just swimming. You raise your hand up, and you got an IV in your arm, and you're kind of like, and when you look at your hand, you're seeing tracers. It's like mild though; it's not super bad, and you can feel there's a real bad tightness in your right side, down just above your hip, and there is, you can recognize it's fuzzy, but you can recognize that you're in med bay, and the lights are kind of dimmed. Doc, Harry, you're still in medbay, right?
No, Hank's not in here.
No, Hank's kind of able to move around under his own power now. So
okay.
But you look over and you can see the bed that Hank was laying in. The medbay has like a single bed, which is like an adjustable bed for surgery, and then on either side of the medbay there are these platforms that go along the wall. They're a little bit lower than the bed, and they're meant for people for like visitors to sit on, or in emergencies, patients can be laid out on them as well. And that's what you're actually laid out on. Doc Harry, you're in the med bay, and he's moving his hands and stuff like that.
So I would probably try and fail to sit up pretty quickly. And
I whoa.
Hank, where's Hank? Where's my brother?
Hold on 1 second, sir. Sorry. Sorry.
Hey, it's dinner game.
Yeah, I know, and I realized I was about to scare everybody on camera. Um. Hank's fine. He's doing just fine right now. He went to go help out with some things on the ship. I can call him for you, but you can't get up right now.
Hell, I can't. And,
No.
I'm going to use I'm gonna use one of my features, I guess.
Oh God.
So I've got a feature in Mighty Hideous called "You Call That Pain." And when I activate an opportunity to step back a physical complication, step up, fight, or survive for the rest of the scene. So I am assuming I'm not about to like fist fight the doctor, but survive. Survive sounds more up the alley to like force myself to my feet.
All right. And I don't think I'm gonna make you make a roll for that. That's because you are on some amount of ketamine from Hank, so the level of pain you're feeling is even more reduced by that. The only thing I'm
The
gonna
doctor
do,
knew this would happen, so she planned for this. Like she was like, she's 5 steps ahead of the guy.
She saw into the future.
She saw into the future. She knew when to stage her mutiny when she had both of you higher than a kite.
Definitely. Right? Exactly.
So I'm gonna stand up, probably pretty wobbly.
Mm-hmm. When you stand up, the pain actually gets through the meds, and you literally have to lean against the bench and put your hand on your right side, and you can feel that underneath, because you're like in a gown. You're not even in the EV suit. You're in a medical gown, and when you put your hand on the right side, you can feel that there is a lot of bandaging and tape there.
I'm gonna like look down at it and just kind of like,
and
I'm just gonna kind of like
your back.
I'm gonna look.
I'm
like,
no.
Down,
Please don't take that off. Please don't.
I'm not taking it off. I'm like looking down the gown. Let's see.
You got hurt real bad. I really need you to sit back down.
The circumcision was just a bonus.
What happened to me?
When we were trying to escape, and we sent off that shuttle, and it exploded. The ship got a little damaged in the process. You got a little damaged in the process. I fixed what I could. I believe everything else has been fixed as well. But we got other stuff going on.
What do you mean other stuff?
I'm gonna call Hank. Let me call Hank. Let me get Hank in here.
I reach out and I'm gonna put my like not my full weight, but a decent amount on her.
Oh God!
Kind of like
he ain't a small man.
No, very large. And I'm going to kind of lean into you with my left side since my right side's all messed up. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say, just take me up to the cockpit.
That's a lot of stairs.
That's a lot of stairs. let me just get Hank in here for 5 seconds. I'm gonna try to get a hold of Hank and get him down to the med bay.
So Hank, where were you at this time? Were you up in the cockpit or were you down in the engine room?
I was up in the cockpit.
That's right.
Because Jude took a small leave of absence.
That's right. So right about that time, the comms go off. 2 things happen at the same time because I'm putting this in the same time frame. The comms go off, and Harry says, "Hank, your brother, Alan's up. He's trying to get up. Come down here." Right as you're standing up to do that, the whole ship comm goes off, and Bayden says, "We need to have a conference in the dining area now."
All right, I'm gonna as soon as he does that, I'm gonna be like, scratch that, make it in the med bay, and then I'm gonna head down to the med bay.
All right. Med bay works for me, just as long as we're all in the same place at the same time.
I turn to the doc and I say, I'm out for 5 minutes and there's a mutiny. Is that it? People calling shots. And what I've heard him say over the speaker, come to the med bay.
Yep.
All right, then I'm gonna sit back down and I'm gonna say, can I? God, can I get some Goram pants?
You can tell Kelly to go get him some clothes out of his room.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's
guess
probably
that's what I'll do.
still. Yeah, she's probably still there because she was
I was
there
gonna
to
say
help you
she-
out with him.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll tell her to go run and grab some pants.
It ain't too common of a captain to be showing off his son to his crew.
So Kelly runs off to do that. The rest of you all come into the med bay. It's the med bay is big, but this is still kind of crowded. But so Kelly comes back and she hands Alan some pants and a shirt. So what are you doing? Bayden?
Yeah, just
we're waiting for.
I'm gonna have the doc try to help me get my pants on at least.
I'll
Cap,
help.
can you
Yes.
not do that in front
Yes,
of us?
make sure they are my brown pants. Yes. Thank you, Captain Caffeine.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and help him get his pants on.
So you help him get dressed. The dressing gown does help a lot with that. It kind of is a little curtain against the world there. So what do you guys, Bayden? What do you brought them in here? Jude, are you in medbay?
Yes. I'm following Bayden in there.
All right, guys. So I know I don't normally ask people to meet up, but we've had a lot happen in the last couple days compared to the last 3 months, and we're in a pretty tight situation now. So that Alliance cruiser is going to be boarding and doing a pretty heavy inspection. And based on just a little tiny bit of information that I've recently received, it seems like they're going to be super, super interested in anything we might have on this ship that has anything to do with Reavers. And as we know, Cap's face has been his explanation for his survival with them. So he's got a connection. So we need to kind of make sure that that doesn't come up. And we need to be very clear that anything else we have on this ship that has anything to do with Reavers is not something they find. So I know we really, really messed up that mission with like the crate and everything, but is there anything else we took off that ship that needs to be hidden?
Nope. The only thing we took off of that ship is it's careening into space. God help those people in that container. But other than that, that's the short and skinny of it.
Doc, where's your suit?
Mine.
Yeah.
Where I guess I probably would have taken it off in the med bay area at some point.
Yep. It's probably just laying in the corner where med.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wait.
You probably would have left it in the airlock.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been decommed yet.
The
captain stayed. The captain stayed in the hold. Remember, you guys were soaking
Yeah,
up
exactly.
radiation.
Yeah, I know.
So you guys would have left that. Well, actually, no. You climbed out. Never mind. You crashed the shuttle into the. Fuck! You guys have been walking around with radiation all over you.
Hey.
So
I can always use an extra set of arms.
This is what nice to have known 2 days ago.
So, because I saw her take the helmet, or not, she pointed the camera on her helmet at the paperwork.
Yeah. Well, the camera's on her helmet.
And
So
she-
Oh yeah.
and then she basically just went.
she like was kinda like, hey, what, like kind of like going over what she had found
Yeah, like,
right when
yeah.
right when we got jumped. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna wherever she put it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we need to get the doc's suit and
So-
at least anything on there that would hold the recording. Get that out of there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's good and all. And I am now just kind of coming to my senses after my nice long nap and the whole we're gonna die and all that good stuff. But we need to get that radiation soaked shit out of here, like ASAP, like yesterday. Like we need to get that out of here.
Yeah.
Well, the airlock is designed as a decom unit as well, so it should be if you and normally the evac suits hang in the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you can actually decom the suits by putting them in the airlock and just running the cycle on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when the when the suit is in the airlock, it actually gets patched into the ship systems, so you can download camera footage and everything like that. So all that really needs to happen is you need to see, number one, if the airlock was damaged by the shuttle at all, and see
Please don't.
you know
Please
you
don't.
know the airlock is functioning, because otherwise the cargo bay would not have sealed.
No.
Mhm.
So the simple fact that the cargo bay sealed means it's functioning. But whether the decontamination process is still functioning, you're gonna have to go down and do an assessment on it, because you haven't even had any time to look at that. Look at Frumpkin just putting it on the fucking chair. He's like, I'm not leaving this mine.
That chair's gonna be wrecked.
That is the best thing ever.
Kitty counter.
Frumpkin wins, and he got the boob shot too. Yay, Frumpkin! All right, so
I'm having the best day, y'all. I'm having the best day ever.
he's the best kitty ever. He's coming back. But anyway,
He's just mad because he tried to eat my chicken and dumplings and I smacked him in the face for it.
so anyway, so you guys basically are sitting there, and Hank, you know that you have number one, you have to expect the airlock. Number two, if for now you can take the suits and dump them in one of the shield cargo containers. The ones you have are not as big as the one that was on that ship, but they are. You do have cargo containers that are designed to handle hazardous material in order so you can transport hazardous material as part of some of your runs. You know what I mean? So you can take the suits and dump them in there. You don't have, let's see, 1, 2, 3. You have one extra EVA suit in the airlock. So someone can actually put the EVA suit on in order to move these other EVA suits back either into the airlock or into a container or something like that, because the EVA suits are the only things that are going to give you real protection from the radiation.
Yeah. Okay.
So those should
Cap,
probably go in the airlock, or it's going to look suspicious if you find it in a crate.
Stop.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to. We might have to mention that we went and we went in the ship looking for survivors. I mean, I know Bayden, but I mean, unless you got a better idea.
Look, so we mentioned we go on that ship, and I don't think we're coming off of this one.
Well, what would you have us say then?
The recording needs to come out of that suit. You need to give me the copy so I can put it on the companion ship. Then it needs to be cleaned so that there was never a recording on there. Same thing with any other camera that could have recorded anything from that ship. It all needs to be saved and then erased off of the EV suits. The EV suits got to go in the airlock, and they got to start deradiationing now. We need to try to get the radiation count down on this ship, and if we can't, then we need you to do something to the engine that's going to explain why we've got a low count of radiation on our ship, so that there's a cause that can be explained. If any of you have felonies, warrants, if anybody's bound by law, now's a good time to bring that up because the Alliance is going to be checking our credentials pretty heavy. Anybody bound by law?
I mean,
I
we established the last.
I look over at Kelly. I just like, I'm just waiting.
Kelly,
just
I thought
waiting.
Kelly was on probation.
Yeah,
She served her time.
I think so.
Now,
Yeah,
she has a
like,
criminal record.
But in my mind, she is the most likely to like still be bound by law.
Kelly kind of looks around and she's like, "What? I did my time."
Alright.
Like, I don't know. Maybe the person who's running around with a bunch of stolen drugs. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But
you know what? Kelly does make a good point. Yeah, Doc.
I mean, no offense, Doc. You just don't strike me as a criminal mastermind who got away with that free and clear.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
so-
but we established during the last game that I had some sort of false credentials.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Who
How-
has? Hold on. Who has some trouble with the Alliance that does not have false credentials?
Question. We- This is another thing
I
we
turn
have to-
around, actually shocked, just like, oh shit. Dude. What?
Are you saying this in character or out of
No.
character?
Quick question for Ray, because this
Okay.
is one we hadn't established on stream yet. But in what I had sent you, I'd mentioned that I had a fake ID.
Mhm.
Is that something that I would use a plot point for to have with me in this point?
You can absolutely. You can spend a plot point and make it a temporary for basically for this session. You will have fake ID credentials, and then if you have enough plot points at the end of the session, you can spend another plot point to make it permanent.
Okay.
And so
So
I'm good.
So I've also got a signature asset, which is my Alliance salvage permit.
right. And also,
where
Lawrence, because you
I have
recorded that thing with me, you have another plot point too.
I have an actual, like, legitimate salvage permit.
Yes.
It is not fake. It checks out.
Yeah. And the ship is completely legally registered. It's it's a salvage. It's a salvage and cargo ship. So the ship itself is clean. Hank and the Parrish brothers are clean, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bayden is obviously clean. Kelly is a convicted felon, but has served sentence and is out. And I don't know if they have a parole system or not. So we'll just say that for now that she's basically out. So the only two who might have real trouble with the law are Jude and Harry.
The ones you would expect it from them.
Yeah. And Harry already had. You took the. Did you took Cortex Spectre or something like that? Harry.
Me?
Yeah. In your background.
No, I don't think so.
Let me double check. I see your character sheet.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where that would be.
It would be under your. Oh wait, you didn't fill this out all the way. Oh wait, here's some stuff. Ship's doctor.
I filled out what I could see.
Yeah. No, you filled it all out. It just wasn't populating when I originally first opened it up.
Okay, I was like,
so yeah, you don't have it. So you'd have to do something similar to what, because you can say you have the fake ID, but when a situation like this comes up, since you don't have it on your sheet as a permanent asset, or a temporary asset, you can spend a plot point to create that D6 temporary asset that will be your fake ID. And then if you want to make it permanent, then you can spend another plot point at the end of the episode and make it a permanent signature asset.
Stop. Yeah, I will do the same thing.
All right. So what we're gonna do?
Sorry, I'm just like on edge right now, so bad.
It's okay. What we're gonna do right now is it's already 8:30. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a 10-minute break before the Alliance get ready to board, and we will go ahead and give a 10-minute break. We will be back at 8:43, ladies and gentlemen. And so we still have yet to be boarded by the Alliance even. 'Cause that's happening.
Hooray!
All right, so we'll be back at 8:43. We'll see y'all then.
beautiful.
and gentlemen, it's hug time. So
Hug quotas.
we are
And
back.
one of those days was my birthday, so
Yeah,
like,
I know. No birthday
Yeah,
hugs.
like
That
it's
sucked.
really freaking bad.
That means I got a spank quota on you, buddy.
Ooh.
32, baby.
32. There's
And
gonna
one
be
to girl
some
on.
red butt cheeks.
Get me a cat of nine tails.
Oh yeah, I'm real good at spanking.
All right. So now that we can move away from Cat of Nine Tails. So all right. So
Oh, were we streaming that?
yes, we were.
So real quick, guys,
Streaming for a couple
everybody,
minutes, Josh. Ah, you fucking- that was perfect.
For watching.
I'm gonna help you guys out. Everybody who's taking the time to spend a plot point so they can have a fake ident card, one of the actual distinctions in the book is fake ident cards, like plural, and it has like a talent thing you can purchase later that goes under it that allows you to do something extra so that you can basically split a plot point to make them the GM reroll any one die of your choice whenever they're trying to basically check your credentials and see if they're false or not.
That's nice.
So it's got an upgradable ability, and it's not just a single card. It lets you have access to a couple of them.
Now the difference is that distinction in the book, well, because it's a book bot distinction for character creation, it's the D8, but yours will start at a D6.
Yes, yeah.
And then so the way that works is you buy the distinction. It starts at a D6. If you want to make it a permanent distinction, it costs you another plot point. And then if you want to take that permanent distinction and upgrade it later on, it costs you shit. I can't remember. I think it just costs you one more.
No, so according to the advancement rules, turn an asset from an episode into a D6 asset is 1 episode, and then to step up an asset to a D8 is 2 episodes, and then to unlock a new distinction trigger is 2 episodes. So this is like a distinction trigger, just like the ones under your actual distinctions. So to unlock like the asset distinction should also be 2
wait,
episodes.
but Jonathan, does that mean that a temporarily bought asset does not have any unlocked distinctions?
Yeah, a temporary bought asset has no unlocked distinctions under it.
Which means all those special abilities under it you don't have access to until you buy them with.
So most of the things don't have distinctions under them that you saw in the core book. But then once they went on from the core book, they started adding distinctions under a lot of the assets. So like the fake ident cards basically just give you like fake identification cards. So they let you roll the D6 or the D8. But then the distinction is called no priors. So when you provide a fake ident card to the authorities and it's scanned with a mental plus operate action, once per action you can spend 1 plot point to pick 1 die that your opponent has to re-roll. Nice. So if you buy that distinction under it, then basically like you have really good fake identification. So you're basically making sure that if the GM were to roll like a 12 and a D12, you can force him to re-roll the D12 and hopefully get a much lower number.
Got it. All right.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we, that would be something I would spend this episode to do because it's coming up in this episode, right?
Definitely.
Do I have to wait till after the end of the episode or can I do that now?
What you do is, well, right now you can spend any previous episode to buy the temporary fake ID for this episode, okay? And then after this episode, you can choose to spend this episode and 1. It's 2 to make it permanent, Jonathan?
It's 1 to make it permanent. It's 2 to upgrade it to a D8, and it's 2 more to unlock the trigger.
Okay, so 1 to make the temporary asset available to you right now. Another 1.
It's a plot point to get it for right now. It's
a plot
1
point.
episode to basically make it always on your character sheet.
So to have that fake ID as a permanent thing on your character sheet, then you spend the episode. And yes, you can choose to spend this episode because it does tie right back into it. Of course,
okay,
that
I'll
means
stick with just the plot point for now.
Yeah, same.
But that also means you're spending the episode with your Reaver story.
Yeah, I know.
I can promise you right now, I don't think I'm ever gonna spend this episode. Your Reaver story is just
And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, the mechanics in the Cortex system for the Firefly game, they can literally use their previous episodes because we name every single episode, and we keep them recorded on a sheet. And if they spend, they're what they use for experience points to upgrade their characters. But if they spend an episode, they cannot use it for other functions they can do, which are called callbacks and other functions where they can get temporary boosts on current situations or gain more plot points to utilize in situations by referring back to or having a flashback or a callback to a previous episode that happened that can refer to this episode. Like with Jude, you can actually refer back to your session 0, Jude.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where you were like first, when you were on the run still. And so you can refer back to that for the fake ID to spend the plot point, the episode permanently for the
Mm-hmm.
fake ID. You could refer back to that. But anyway, so and that basically, so what you guys are doing right now is, who's going to go get the EV suit and go put away the radioactive
I'll do
stuff into
that.
the hold, huh?
So
Hank?
I'll
Okay.
do that.
All right.
Because then I'm go do that, and I'll just communicate this in character. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go put on the EV suit. I'll take care of decontaminating, running that shit through the computer, getting off the thing, and then getting it over to Bayden. And then after that, I will go make sure that the engine room is tip top. I'm sure that the hangar is a mess.
It is an absolute mess.
And I'm gonna turn to my dear brother Mike, and we'll talk about the shuttle. We'll talk about the shuttle later. But yeah, so that's Mike. If y'all need anything, well, I'm sure you can figure that out. And I'm gonna go do the thing.
All right. So, you start heading down, Hank. You go into the airlock. You get the EV suit on. You're putting the actual suit's contaminated radiation into the lock itself, right? What are you gonna do with the one they cut off the captain?
That is, that's a very fine question that you asked there. So it's not is it salvageable, or is it's pretty like cut up?
You guys took Doc Harry. You guys actually took him out of the suit. You didn't cut him out of the suit, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, like we took him out, but there is a hole through it.
Yeah.
Because whatever went into him went
I could
through
patch
it.
that. Cool. Yeah. So I'm just gonna hang it up then.
All right. It's gonna get decommed, but it's still kind of full of blood and gore. So
Yeah, it'd be fine.
all right, it'll be fine. All right. So you hang it up in there. All right. So that's going to take you about 10-20 minutes. Now, they said that they were going to board you when you came into the Blue Sun system before they released you. Okay?
Yeah.
And you guys were like, they didn't give you a hell of a lot of time. They told you they were going to be boarding you, and they're because you were you were decelerating to go down to like basically in-system speeds. So you were already on the deceleration. So they basically are like, okay, yeah, by the way, now that we're here, we're boarding you. So, continue your deceleration, and we will be sending over a boarding party as soon as we reach a minimal velocity. And so, you figure, and Jude, you already started the deceleration routine, so you figure you've got about 45 minutes, of which you've used about 10. And Hank, you're going to be using at least 20 minutes to drag everything, run it over there, hang it up, and then and run the decom cycle. So it's going to be at least 20 minutes for that to run through. Okay?
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing while Hank's doing that?
So I'm gonna get with Harry really quick, and I'm gonna see she's got anything that I can get to like make me a little more in like good appearance.
She's got ketamine.
He's got to get him.
Like anything to like anything that's going to like numb the pain enough for me to like be present, because like as the captain I'm going to need to like be present when they walk through the ship, because they're gonna have questions and I'm gonna have to have answers, and if the captain is out of commission with like a chest wound, they're gonna be like, what the fuck happened here? Yeah,
well, it's not a chest wound.
It's an ass wound.
Like
it's an abdominal puncture that goes through and through.
It was close to his right.
So is your face.
May I recommend 1/30th of a dose of ketamine by the doc standards?
Right.
I just need something that's going to, when I'm like walking through the ship with them, I won't have to stop and be like, give me a minute.
Cassie, there's one thing you can do. It will knock his pain threshold out.
I don't like the sound of this.
Keep in mind, I do have that thing from Mighty Hideous where I can push through the pain.
Yep. You can like basically give him the what would be the current equivalent of an epidural. You can knock out his pain receptors from a certain point in his spine down temporarily.
Is he going to be able to walk?
He will be able to walk.
So you can walk with an epidural depending on the way. Like I know this a lot because I've actually had an epidural in my life. I know a lot about epidurals. Actually, they place a lot of epidurals in my OR, and I've had one personally, so I know a lot about epidurals.
Yeah, you can walk.
You can walk with an epidural. They actually do have a specific type of epidural called a walking epidural, which means that it's just not as high of a dose. It allows you to not really feel much, but you can still move and function.
You can feel pressure.
My epidural was not placed properly, so I lost complete function of my left leg.
Don't put that out into the ether.
Why are you putting that out there right before you roll?
We know you better than you.
Out to the ether.
Because I can't help it.
So you can do that. He will be able to basically move and walk. The biggest problem and the issue you would have with doing this is he will not feel it if he does something like turn too quick and rip his stitches, or turn to move in an odd way and cause some other internal damage to the wounds he already has. He will not even know it, and he'll be in the same situation he was when he was in shock. He will be bleeding out and not know it. Of course, he's not in an EV suit catching all the blood. It will be very obvious when the blood pours down out of his clothes.
Yeah, of course.
Cap, I, as tactfully as I can say this, considering that you've previously been through what clearly looks like a pretty grievous injury that's obvious, perhaps it would be pretty believable if you just walked around with a cane and claimed it was a previous injury that you suffered as well.
Yeah, Novocaine.
My goiter's acting up.
I got the gout.
I got the gout.
You got a cane on your shuttle?
I'm gonna turn and look at the doctor like, aren't canes your area of expertise?
Would I have a cane?
I mean,
you have crutches.
We have a crutch, yeah.
You can spend a plot point.
I was gonna say.
You can have a plot point. Wait a minute, did we spend a plot point on? No, that was last game.
Wait, hold on, Jonathan.
What did we do?
We don't act like your clients aren't into some stuff. You have a cane.
Yeah, I know. He's making the implication that I'm like hanging out with geriatrics, but I'm just gonna let that go.
It's a sugar daddy, not a sugar grandpa.
I can't, y'all. I just can't.
So,
for the term glucose guardian.
Glucose guardian.
My fucking brain feels like it's completely melted out of my head, y'all.
So here's what I'm gonna do then.
Nothing's oozing out of your ears. You're fine.
I'm gonna get.
As far as y'all can tell, I've got headphones on.
I'm gonna get a little something from the doc. I won't take it until like we're about to get boarded. But then I am going to.
Here's the thing, though. You can't take any more narcotics.
Yeah.
She would
You've
have to do
already
something like an
had enough.
epidural. She would
So
have
she's-
to
yeah.
deaden
If I
you.
give
gonna have-
you
yeah.
more, you
You'll
will be
Okay.
possibly
out.
die.
Okay, so I'm gonna get dressed in my Sunday best,
No.
which is basically just my regular clothes, except I've got a nice little jacket now.
Wait,
I was gonna say, was it
Let's
just
say the
basically
one
clean
without
clothes?
all the stains.
Can I recommend you wear your red pants?
Uh, but
Oh goodness.
I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to make sure that I've got on hand my salvage permit just in case. And then I guess I'm gonna start concocting if it is asked, I'm going to start concocting a story for why the hangar bay looks like it had a ship flown into it and then blown out.
I mean, we can be honest with that one, right?
They knew,
at the very least,
Jonathan,
with the
Bayden already
it
told
was-
them that you were attacked,
yeah.
and that you did, but no one described how the attack happened. So
I would
Bandits.
recommend just
Yellow dragon.
Yellow Dragon. No,
I would
Yellow
refer to it as a loading accident that happened and destroyed our mule, and we ultimately had to get rid of it, but we haven't had time to replace it yet because all this
It's not
damage
like-
everywhere.
you're gonna get a ticket for space littering.
Yeah, we can say just about anything we want to say as long as we make sure we're not saying that it was.
And you all say the same thing.
The big
And we
R,
all
yeah.
make sure Bayden says it.
yeah.
We all make
And we
sure
all make
Bayden
sure
says
Bayden
it.
says it.
Right? For real.
Bayden can be their attaché.
Essentially.
All right.
Just
So
we want to be real careful. We're not saying it was anything to do with a Reaver-infested Alliance ship. It actually was. Yeah,
sorry,
no,
I'm
we
not
just
laughing.
Attacked
I'm
by
just
crazy
laughing.
people.
Before they get here, I do take my Alliance service pistol and my go bag and hide that on Bayden's
Shuttle.
his shuttle.
Okay, I will be on my shuttle because while they're doing these things, I'm gonna ask Jude nicely if she can make sure that the list of everything got done. But in the meantime, I am actually going to just be reviewing what was on Kessie's camera and the other documents I have not seen yet, because I do have eidetic memory. So at least if I see it, then
So
even
do
if
I.
somehow it gets
So
confiscated.
so do I. So I will be able to remember it as well.
Remember,
I was only recording it for
I know.
the
No,
purpose
here's the
of
thing.
everybody else.
Here's the thing, Kessie. Eidetic memory is based on visual. So you need time for your brain to register what's on
Which
the
is another
page.
reason why I recorded it so that
Yeah.
I could take it back and actually read through it better. I read through some of it, but then when I realized what it was, decided to record all of it so that I could get more out of it later.
Jonathan, are you trying to process it right now, or are you just trying to
nerds
look
and
it
your
over?
big brains?
I want to get through enough of it that I can actually definitely remember it. If I think I've got time to process through it, I will process through it. But if I think I've only got time to memorize
you
the
literally
pages,
have
Brain
about another
damage.
10 minutes. So you can get through a couple of pages of it. What she has is she has a dossier of the work that they have been performing. These are printouts with surgical notes, with descriptions of case files. What it describes they've been doing is they have been going in and they have been, for the most part, they have been tracking and ambushing Reavers.
I mean, sounds dumb so far, but okay.
They have been capturing them and studying the physiology of a Reaver.
And is they the Alliance or is they a corporation?
That is not mentioned basically anywhere where the funding comes from. What was the name of the company? Oh my god, I don't have my notes up. I forgot.
You said Blue Sun.
Oh, the Blue Sun Company. Yes.
When we were in the episode, you mentioned Blue Sun to Kessie.
Yes, the Blue Sun
Yeah, I
Corporation.
think so.
Everything on there, none of that is tagged as Alliance or anything like that. It's all tagged as corporate gear from Blue Sun. You know, all the reports, all the incident reports, everything. It's all done up as a corporate entity. There is the ship itself. Or not the ship itself. The ship's crew itself is all basically recruits from all across known space, and they're basically chemists, they're biologists, they were xenobiologists, they were just like basically they were recruited from all walks of life with specializations that were designed to try and categorize this. From the first 4 or 5 pages of the report you have in your hand, you gather that this was put together because the main fear from the corporate and what they were trying to discover is if this was some kind of alien life form infestation. They quickly ascertained, and this is in the first preliminary stages of the report, because the report you have is obviously they've been doing this work for a bit. But the report you have in your hand states that this is definitely a genetic alteration caused by a viral toxin, and that this is a fundamental alteration of the genetics of a human with a very rare phenotype that basically allows for the melding of the human genome with a viral genome.
That's great.
Other than that, but that's
test us for that rare genetic thing later.
Yeah, but but because you're actually reading through a lot of clinical stuff to get to these fact points. So, but that's all you can gain from 10 minutes worth of just pouring over it, and that's literally just pouring over the first few pages.
All right. Well,
and Kessie, when Harry was on there and she was doing it, Harry was literally doing this with the sheets.
Yeah. So I know I'm pausing to read and then pausing
yes.
and then
Yes. So she recorded about 45, 50 pages worth of documents. So there's a lot of data here. The first 5 pages of the preliminary report are just the outline of the report. If what the outline states is true, this report has a massive amount of data that is pertaining to. They had already discovered that it was basically caused by a tailored virus. Whether the tailored virus was an outcome of something else or literally designed, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know if it was man-made or a mutation.
Right. But the suspicion is that it has to be in some way engineered because of how well it melds with the genome, how well it can manipulate DNA for the human species.
All right, so the gear that I currently have that I'm supposed to be hiding on my shuttle, they're not supposed to search my shuttle, but just in case they decide they're going to try to push their luck and I have a hard time stopping them, I'm going to power down basically the data pad like device I'm reading this off of, and slide it and other data recordings that we took. I'm going to open up one of the instrument panels near the piloting controls of the shuttle.
Right.
And then just kind of slide everything in there powered down, because if they do some sort of scan, it's electronics, and it wouldn't be unusual for electronics to be around electronics. As for the Alliance pistol, I am going to just try to put it like over in an area where it looks like it's on display, and I'm just going to treat it as though
like the area where you put your trophies from your past.
Yeah, like one of my past people had given it to me, sort of like as a going away gift type of a thing. And if
Gotcha.
anybody asks about it, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's illegal. I mean, if it's illegal, you can take it. I had no idea. I mean, it was given to me.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm sorry, dude. I have a harder time like hiding that somewhere where it would be hidden in a scan. You know what I mean? Like.
All right,
but
so
I'm not gonna put it front and center either. I just put it with the rest of them.
I know. What is everyone else doing for the last 10 minutes? Are you giving him the? Are you gonna knock?
You're gonna epidural me?
That's kind of your call. Do you want it?
So. There is definitely some merit to the fact that like because I am fuck ugly and have a bunch of scars, I could probably just walk with like a crutch or a cane and just be like, oh yeah, no, that's just the way I walk. But so that being said, I also don't want to have to be like, you know, like every couple of minutes whenever I'm like, oh my god, that, and then like push my way through the pain.
I mean, we could do both.
Both, yeah.
Because the crutch will help you.
Yeah,
also,
let's do both.
Like, be more sensitive, be more careful about how you're walking and stuff like that. You can lean on it more and hopefully not do anything bad to your wound.
Yeah,
so
let's
you lay the captain down on the surgical table.
Oh no. He'll be sitting, hunched over. Again, I know exactly how to actually place an epidural.
All right. So she puts you in an uncomfortable position that hurts.
Yeah. It does. It's not gonna feel comfortable, but that's
Harry,
the best way to place one.
Do you say the scary line?
Which scary
No
line?
matter what happens, don't move, or I'll probably paralyze you.
No, I'm not gonna say anything like that.
Oh, I shit myself. Good thing I got my brown pants.
It's not as easy to paralyze somebody as everyone thinks with an epidural. Okay, it takes a lot. Okay?
Like as much as I know about epidurals is what you're telling me, and you're telling me that you actually got one to where you could not
use your left leg.
So,
it's only because he put it slightly to the left. He didn't put it like directly midline.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
if it had been,
it's not
been
easy.
directly
It's
midline,
not that
I would have still had function of both of my legs. I had function of my right leg, but I didn't feel anything.
It's not that easy to paralyze someone with an epidural, except when Cassie was partially paralyzed by an epidural.
I wasn't partially paralyzed.
It's
just
saying.
that it was placed slightly to the left rather than perfectly midline.
Paralyzed.
So no, I wasn't partially paralyzed. I just couldn't move my left leg for a little while.
Which is what, ladies and gentlemen,
partially paralyzed.
No, it wasn't permanent though. It wasn't permanent. But it was fine after a few hours.
Okay. Wait. She's right. I am very sorry.
I was not partially paralyzed.
She was temporarily partially paralyzed.
Okay, fine. Sure, why not?
So all I'm hearing the entire time y'all are having this discussion is Kessie tell us that a trained medical professional accidentally temporarily paralyzed doing the thing.
Some anesthesiologists are a little bit better at doing these things than others. He was a little thrown off because he had a new nurse who didn't set everything up the way that he liked it set up. So he was a little flustered.
So he didn't like the way it's set up.
He never asked. Well, like at our hospital, like when we have people placing them, they usually ask a lot of questions about. Okay, do you feel the prick? Like, do you feel the
I may not feel it, but I'm talking to him.
No. Like, do you feel the needle? Do you feel the needle to one side or the other, or do you feel it in the middle? and they'll test that until they find the exact perfect spot.
She sneezed.
I didn't get any questions. I didn't get any. Do you feel it a little to the left? Do you feel it a little to the right? Is this right in the middle? Like, I didn't get any of that.
So now what you're saying is that it takes lots of time to do it correctly, and when rushed, things go wrong.
So
Not wrong.
all
but
that
just
being
like,
said, Kessie, I've rolled your
Yes.
TN.
oh God.
It is not the 18 because I'm not going to bother to keep. I'm going to.
Wow.
Actually, no. I had to pay for it.
Why do you have to pay
I had
for
to
it?
keep the 2 highest
No.
dice. So it is a 15.
Oh fuck. Okay,
But,
so
but you're in your element, so you're good.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Sure,
because
because that's gone perfect every time.
Just like the anesthesiologist that helped you out.
Ta-da! And did not
Hey.
partially paralyze her.
No,
Only
he
temporarily
didn't.
partially paralyzed.
Just
Okay, hold on.
temporarily.
Hold on. Let's talk about your dice. What dice are you using? How many you
Yeah.
got?
So first
Exactly.
off, you get
The
your
most
D10
common
for your
reason.
mental.
Got it.
You're going to get
Or D8 for being a doctor.
D10. Okay.
Doctor.
Hold on. D8 for doctor.
Whatever your treat is.
D10.
Which is I believe I was gonna say I believe a D10.
Then you're administering first aid, right? So that she'll get the D6.
This is not first aid.
Oh
This
yeah.
is
Okay,
minor
never mind.
surgery.
But then you've got the bag. You got the medicine bag you're using.
Yeah, so, and I have to pump medicine through this. So can I use that?
That's another
Sure
D8.
can.
Hey yeah. Okay. So is that it?
All right, I just want to remind
Yeah, so you should have
everyone.
4 dice right now.
I just want to remind everyone
2d10
that
and 2d8.
I have the feature called "You Call That Pain." It's a physical.
This isn't going to
physical
be about pain.
complication, A physical complication. It's a physical complication. I can step up, survive for the rest of the scene.
He's just scrambling to.
Are we ready for this?
Yes.
I also have protect the crew.
Wait, hold
I
on,
am
hold
a
on,
member
hold
of
on.
the
Oh
ship.
no, I already did it.
Oh no, I know, I already did it. Okay.
it's
Okay. Oh shit, she has a complication. And I am a sadistic and cruel person.
Well, I would spend some plot points to
So here's the first
make
thing
it not
I do.
lose by 5.
I spend a plot point, and I buy the complication. Kessie,
So you get the plot point back, right? Or she gets a plot.
she gets the plot point. Kessie,
Mm-hmm.
the complication is he sneezed.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Okay, but you should really spend some plot points because he's beating you by 5.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, you have a 10
No, I
right
know.
now.
He's beating her by more than 5 because she.
No, I
she
know.
didn't find the 2 for him to only be beating her by 5.
Okay, yeah.
That was
So
what
you
I'm
Okay,
saying.
hold
spend-
on.
Which I assume she would do.
Hold on.
But
She's
that's
running
the
for
noise.
it.
That's the noises I make right now. Just,
I know. She's like, Alan, do you feel that?
I heard that.
Alan.
and Alan just goes.
Cassie, do you have any big damn hero dice?
I got one last session that I didn't use. Do you have to use it in the same?
No, they
you can
stay.
carry over.
They
stay.
carry over.
So
Okay.
here's
you can
the
Then I
only
have a
thing.
D8.
Your dice
Hang
type.
on. Let's stop real quick. Kessie, are you
Mhm.
going to spend a plot point to keep the 2? Because you're obviously keeping the 2 4s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that makes you
I
at
will
a,
probably. Okay.
that makes you at a 10. So now you're currently losing by 5.
Okay.
So
So,
there's-
I know
reason-
I already spent some. So
You
because I
spent one
spent
plot point for the ID,
for the yeah.
and I think that's all you spent so far.
Okay.
And you
For some reason I was
should
thinking there was something
have-
else, but
You have 6. You have 6 plot points
And one big
to
damn
start
hero
with,
die.
and one
yeah,
big
I
damn
have
hero
that
dice.
D8 from
Yeah, you D8.
last.
So if you spend a
Um,
plot point on the D8 big damn hero die, you get to roll it and keep it. Like that's part
But
of.
I just plot point back from you buying the complication, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I have 6 currently.
No,
I have
5.
6 plot points.
5. You
I
spent one for the
I
shoe.
spent one, but I just got one back. Correct.
And you spent one on the ID.
Oh,
Find the
yeah,
two,
yeah, no. Got
then
it.
you
Got it.
got
Got it.
one
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to write down where I'm
No.
spending these so that I
got
remember.
it.
Okay,
So
so
you're at
I got
5
5
right now.
currently. Got it.
So and your
Okay.
and your number right now is a 10, and I am
Yeah,
at
I
a
know.
15.
So I have to spend a plot point to roll my big damn hero dice,
Yes,
or do I?
and
you automatically
just-
get to keep it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
So for
Okay.
one plot point, you get to split and keep it.
Okay.
So hey, this might be just all you need is just roll this plot point. You get well, you have to match or beat it, or you have to beat it.
You have to beat it because you have
Beat
to
it.
raise
Okay.
the stakes. That literally means you have to go above my TN.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have to make any more decisions about
No, you
spending
may
more
roll
plot
this
points for
and
dice?
then
I
make
can
more
roll this and
decisions.
then still make more decisions. Okay,
Yes.
that was my other question. Okay. God damn it.
Got this.
This game stresses me out so fucking bad.
Same. That's why I said to win the game, you have to roll as little as possible.
That's
Okay,
a 3.
it's not a 1.
That's
so,
the big
hey,
thing. It's not a 1.
Well, actually, if it was a 1 on a big damn hero dice, he can't buy it. Kessie
Oh,
just
yeah.
gets the dice back.
Yep,
And
that's true.
So
That's why a big damn
Yeah.
hero dice is really safe too. So that is now a 13. So
Yep.
you need at least
You just
3
need
more.
3 more on a die roll.
mhm.
So here's your things you can do.
I'm gonna throw up.
You can throw up. That is completely viable. Just make sure you have a trash can.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible to get vomit out of a carpet. But here's the things you can do. You can spend a plot point for a temporary asset, and you can do the same temporary asset you did last time, which was well-stocked medbay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say that because you have a well-stocked medbay, you had a superior kit for performing this
Yeah.
procedure, which means you'll get a D6, and you get to roll it. You don't get to keep it automatically. You just get to roll it.
Yeah, and that's just for one plot point.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that.
Although I would recommend, Kessie, that if you find that that's something that you like using, you might want to spend an episode to make it permanent, so that you actually end up getting to keep that all the time.
Yeah, that might be a thing.
Or get to roll that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll roll it. Well, I meant like roll it, keep it that way.
All right.
Like,
So you're rolling a D6. That's your next
Okay.
stop. That's your next step.
Mm-hmm.
Big money, no way, me.
There you go. So now you have raised the stakes. You
more
have
plot points to keep it,
successfully
you're good.
not severed
Yeah.
the captain's spine.
Yay!
And then you have to spend another plot point to keep it. Jonathan already said that.
Yep. So I'm down to 2 now, but
All right.
that's fine.
Well, that's
Man.
2 that you have.
Hopefully, I don't have to do fucking.
I
So this is the scene. This is
almost-
the scene.
I almost really was Alan Parrish.
So here's the scene. Kessie's gets you bent over, gets you laid out and ready to
Not playing the
go.
bard, it's fine.
She comes in with the needle with the thing, and she's guiding it in. She pokes into your back. You do the usual, but she's used to that. She hasn't really pushed it into the spinal fluid yet, so she kind of like pauses, and then she's like, "All right, it's gonna get a little uncomfortable," and she starts pushing it in, and you're like, "Ow, ow, ow," and then just out of fucking nowhere you sneeze. But Kessie is actually fast enough to pop the syringe out right as she hears you do that big intake of breath before you sneeze. And then she actually just, once you sneeze, she's like, just quickly reinserts it and just injects it into your spine. And it takes a few moments, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then suddenly you can't feel shit from like just below your ribs down.
Yeah, I just kind of like sit back up, and I feel where the bandages are just to make
It's
sure it's
still-
not like it's not damp or anything.
It's still tight, and it's
Yeah.
still you can feel that there's something wrong there.
Yeah. But it's not like, you know.
Yeah.
So I just
You
I
figure
just-
if it goes,
I-
then something
Yeah.
really bad just happened.
yeah, I look to the doc and I just give her the thumbs up and I say, all right, it seems like I'm gonna be all right, I guess.
I just want to point
Awesome.
out that the one time Ray didn't roll a 1 was against Kessie. So
I
as
do
I
love you,
come
though,
down
Cassie.
to make like a last pass and greet these guys at the airlock, I'm gonna glance over and then just remind Kessie, I know you put the bag of drugs away, but you pulled it back out again. You might want to go put that back.
Yeah, I will make sure to put that away.
Kessie, you beat it, and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys, you feel the other ship lining up and docking with the airlock. Decom has already been run and done. You feel you hear the airlock cycle on the exterior, and then you hear some footsteps coming in. It's very deadened because it's inside the airlock, but you can hear them people moving around. And then there is a knock on the inside window of the airlock. Who is all down in the cargo bay?
I think we all are,
All
or
of you?
anybody who's presenting themselves to the alliance. It's got to do the
they
quick
want it's an inspection, so they want to see everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this would not be the first time that like we have had an alliance inspection. Maybe all together, but like at least with like having like me and Hank and probably Kelly since she was our first crewman.
And plus, if you
on the
worked any
ship.
other crews before you got your own ship, you might have had some happen while you were with other ships.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because
So
the
I've
alliance
got-
is always nosing in
I've
everybody's
got-
business.
I've got my permit. I don't have it out, like I'm not like presenting it to them, but I
No, you
have
have it
like,
on you.
I have it at the ready. Yeah,
Gotcha.
if asked, it will be easily presented.
So who's gonna go open the airlock?
I will, Cap.
All right. You cycle the airlock. The door handle spins and the airlock swings in. And the first two people through the airlock door are two Alliance troopers in their standard uniform, which is basically it looks like police riot gear, with rank and insignia on it. They kind of come in. They have weapons out and ready. Kelly kind of like she's kind of standing just behind you, Captain, and she kind of nudges you and she's like, "They're armed and hot."
I'm gonna kind of step forward a bit and say, gentlemen, welcome to the Borealis.
A man steps through into the airlock, and it's not the person that you saw who was in command of this strike ship. It is a dashing and striking young officer who is not in standard fleet attire. He is in the formal uniform of Alliance High Command. And he comes walking in, and two more guards come walking in behind him. And he kind of walks in and he kind of looks around and he looks up and looks at the hold and he says, "Yep, about what I expected." And he kind of looks at all of you and he looks around and he's like, "Captain Parrish."
I nod to him, and I say, we seem to have me at a disadvantage here, and I hold out the hand that is not crutched to shake
He steps
hands with
forward.
him.
He steps forward and he shakes your hand. He shakes your hand gently and he says, "Well, we like to keep abreast of what's going on." He says. He kind of looks over at you, Hank, and he's like, "Mr. Parrish, sir, we understand
Howdy.
you run we hear you run a fine ship, sir."
Well, I would say the best this side of the verse, but kind of I mean,
You
I
have
guess
your
your alliance
bias,
cruiser's
sir.
pretty nice.
He says, any man who cares for his ship at the level we've read that you care for yours can't be all bad. He kind of looks over. He looks over at Kelly, and he says, he kind of looks at her up and down, and he's like, so Miss Lang, it's good to see you. And she kind of just like sniffs. And he says, yeah, that's what I thought. And he kind of looks around. His eyes go over to Bayden. He says, companion. And he like puts his hands behind his back and he bows deeply.
I
like,
will also show him proper respect.
We are very sorry for the inconvenience. And he looks over at the doc, and he says, Dr. Galveston. And he kind of smiles real big, and he says, and then finally he looks over at Jude, and he kind of looks at Jude and he smiles.
Question: Was Jude her name from the previous life?
The first
or
name
like...
is Jude from both,
Mm-hmm.
but she
Shit,
changed
okay.
her last name. What is
Okay.
the last name you're using now, Jude?
Star.
Jude Star?
Starr.
And he says, and he looks at you and he smiles. He says, Miss Star.
Do I recognize this individual?
Yeah.
Nice.
He gave you he debriefed you the final time before you were released.
Oh, so I recognize this guy too.
Oh yeah.
It's already been made. Already been made. We don't even know it.
And he says, we appreciate you all
Rip.
doing everything you can to have kept the situations that have been transpiring
Just had to go for that ship.
as limited in influence as you did. He says, since you are well versed in what this situation is at this point, having had time to look over the information you were able to peruse from that poor lost vessel, we would like to offer you a contract. It is nice and simple.
Right?
Yep.
I want to get in this guy's head at this point because he should know that we were on that vessel. He knows way more than we told him, and he's giving up that information freely.
Gotcha. You make the rolls. Oh, wait, I need to make a contested roll, don't I? It is mental.
If this is secrets, yes, it's a contested roll. So it should be his like mental plus
focus, right?
Yeah.
Does he get anything else at all?
Well, I mean, I have a specialization under focus for willpower, so I mean, theoretically he'd get that too. If he's got a distinction that would, essentially give him like a hardened mind of some kind, I could see that coming into play also. But I don't know. I obviously don't know his distinctions, and I don't know anything like that.
3 plot points.
It's a lot of plot points.
And I may be
D6,
spending
right?
more in a second.
Well, you'll need to spend the 1 to keep it, but...
Yes, I know. I don't get big damn hero dice.
I'm
the big
all
damn villain.
ones.
All right.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm going
wow.
to spend 2 more plot points.
Keep all that?
Yep. So in total,
Wow,
I've spent 5 plot points.
Make it 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that too. All right.
Shit.
Whew.
So I get a 12 automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Kill him. Kill him. Just
Man.
dick table.
I'm just gonna go ahead and use my. I'm gonna spend 1 plot point to use my D10 big damn hero die.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He gets to automatically keep it.
Yeah, it's cheaper than buying the other ones probably, and I can still buy them if I need to. All right, so that gives me a 15. You have a 15, right?
No, that would give you 17, right? Because you had 12 to begin with.
Oh, yeah, that
gives
gives me 17. So I beat you.
Yes.
And then I'll spend 1 plot point to keep one of the 5s, which will let me beat him by 5.
You've
which
raised
will
the
then
stakes.
Raise the stakes.
Give him a complication.
Okay.
And it's going to be a complication related
technically
to
it's
this.
an opportunity.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, yeah, technically it's an opportunity, yeah.
I'm going to use the opportunity that he's easy for me to read because I've seen people like him before. Like in the sense of I can read his body language, like what's going on in his head. Like I've been around somebody like that before, so he's easy for me to dive into.
I give you an easier one actually.
What?
He's easy for you to read because all the memories he's going through are still at the surface because he saw Jude.
All right.
So, what are you looking for?
Well, I definitely want to know like how he knows what we've been doing since Like, does that make sense? Like, nobody.
Yes.
We never told him we boarded the ship, so I mean, like, obviously he's got some way of knowing that.
We got a rat.
The ship that you boarded was sending coded messages on type beam frequency at intervals with the latest status reports that are being recorded by an AI on the ship.
So then was the guy, I guess, faking the weak comm signal when he hailed us?
The AI was not known to the crew.
Oh, okay. So that was a redundancy system.
Yep.
Cool.
So
what
it
exactly
was recording. It was recording all their telemetry information. It was recording all of their information on what their progress was and all their experiments. It was recording it because it was tied into every ship system.
So what exactly does he know about us with the vessel? Like, does he know that we docked with it? Does he know, like, what is the specific information he has?
He knows he has all the internal video recordings from the ship that were transmitted over. He knows what happened. He knows what was going on. He knows what happened on the oh shit. He knows what happened on the ship before you got there.
Okay. So basically he has everything.
Yep.
He knows that we're missing a container with some precious cargo. Whoops.
There's one thing. Oh. Yeah, no shit. This sucks, Jonathan.
What?
Okay. The Excelsior was already en route when you intercepted their ship. The AI had already alerted them that the ship was basically having what the AI translated as a mutiny. What the videos showed and what the captain knows in his head is that the AI was recording members of the crew turning into reavers and attacking other members of the crew. It happened rapidly. The crew fought back as best they could. The crew that were the commander of the vessel locked himself in the cockpit and was trying to find help, trying to reach help anywhere. They got your ship on the edge. He was devoting almost all the system's resources to extending their sensors as far as he could, which is how he detected your ship before you detected his. Plus, his ship had superior equipment. And once he saw your ship, he didn't even bother to signal you yet. He started a hard burn for your ship. And both the hard burn and the damage to the ship that had already been done by the attacks from inside the ship, the Reavers had been tearing out paneling. They had been tearing out protective coverings on the engine core. They had been basically trying to get everyone sick or dead by releasing radiation into the ship, not caring what happened to them.
So how did the Reavers not end up on the ship by the time we got there?
They were
Does he
on
know
the
that?
ship. They were just dead.
Oh,
The radiation killed them all eventually. The only
Okay.
people who were alive were the people that the commander put inside that sealed cargo container that he sealed up himself and basically scrambled the lock, so even he couldn't get back into it. The code he was punching in when Captain Parrish saw him was the code that he could remember in his addled state, which wouldn't have worked anyway.
Hmm.
And there was only a few people in that. There was 4 people in there, and those are the only 4 people who never exhibited any symptoms.
So I'm gonna keep paying attention to his current thoughts
Oh,
because I want to make sure
no.
that he's not lying to us and that they're not about to start firing on us.
Okay. So he says, we are going to contract you for a mission. It is a very simple mission. We're even close by. It'll take you at most a few days. It's not a milk run. I'm not
We
going
need
to
you
lie.
to go to check on Miranda.
It's not a milk run, I'm not going to lie. It's very risky.
Miranda.
There is a downed cruiser. It was fired upon when it entered atmosphere. It was brought down, and the crew was mercilessly slaughtered. We need you to retrieve the flight records and all the data logs from that ship.
So I produce my salvage permit, and I say, well, you found yourself the right vessel for that kind of a job. Sounds like a salvage job. You can see right here from this.
This won't be a legal operation, Captain. You're going down to a quarantined planet. This one's off the books.
You muted, John.
Which planet is he thinking of?
Miranda.
I fucking knew it.
So I just kind of look at him and I say, well, if it's off the books, I don't suppose we got too much of a choice then. Man like you comes on the ship, armed escort, hires us. So I guess at this point I'd like to discuss payment for the job.
Payment for the job is significant.
What is he thinking when he says significant? Because I'm just hoping he's not thinking like doesn't matter because I'm gonna shoot
Giving you your reward.
He is
Your
thinking
eternal reward.
he's thinking that Harry he can easily sway that with getting Harry's the warrant she has out in the core eliminated. He's pretty sure that they'll just the rest of the crew is all about them just being ghost stories. They're nobodies. They're fringers. The 2 people he's worried about are you and Jude. Jude is an Alliance officer. And this is not Jude's first rodeo with these things.
He's worried.
Technically-
He's worried about us in the sense that he may not be able to sway us to agree to it, or he's worried about us in the sense that we're not disposable.
What he's really worried about is that his orders are to eliminate any threat of this knowledge getting out.
Right, and also technically, I was an Alliance engineer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
Okay.
no, Jude is the problem with Jude is she has already been on an Alliance mission that encountered them, and the Alliance deny they exist.
Mhm.
So, his orders are to kill us when we're done with this mission, or is he actually legitimately
He has incredibly deep regret, and it is all targeted towards Jude. He is you can just feel him in his mind trying to figure out a way to make this situation work without having to give that order, without having to order this crew of innocents to be executed for the most part. He doesn't agree with it, but it is orders.
And is this I mean, obviously, I don't know this,
Mm-hmm.
but like, is this like if we don't agree to it, or if we do agree to it, or both? Like, the result's the same.
I think his orders are the same almost either way, but preferably they'd want us to go on the mission first to
His actual plans are: you go on the mission. They want the data recorders. They don't want to risk their own troops, so they don't have to. And they know that there is a large contingent of Reavers that seems to make Miranda their home base of operations. You get that right out of his head. They also know, he also is intending that once you guys come back, he is going to offer Bayden a lift back to the inner planets, basically giving you a free ride back in luxury and comfort. And he is going to pull Captain Koviri, which is the name you recognize, aside, and let her know that if she doesn't come along peacefully, he's going to blow this ship out of space.
So he's planning to take the two of us and let everybody else die.
No, actually, from what you understand, he doesn't think that the rest of your word will be believed by anybody. He wants to take the two highest potential for legitimate leaks.
Yeah, no
He's
one's
going to take
believed
the
me
both
so
of you and
far.
kill you.
Okay, so we're being taken to die. The rest of them get to live.
So it's either
okay,
you two
that's
go to
fine
die and the rest of them get to live, or you two stay on the ship and everybody dies. Is that what your face looks like right now? Because that's a dead giveaway.
But this is all information that the captain is not privy to. So
no one's
Nope.
privy to.
So when he says substantial, I just
He
kind of
means
look.
it.
I kind of look him over. I kind of look him over and I say, well, from coming from a man of your stature, to use the word substantial, well, I'd have to find that agreeable.
I'm gonna put my hand on the captain's hand that's got the cane, and I'm gonna say, Kappa, don't you remember that rule you always tell us? The more dangerous a mission, the more money we get up front.
The other captain kind of looks at you all and says, "I think the alliance is good for it."
I nod and I agree, and I look back to I look back to him, and I just kind of give him this look that's just like, are you fucking crazy right now? And I with my one good eye, and I look back to this officer I just say, I can assume that you will forward details to my pilot.
Absolutely. We have the crash site already mapped out. There are hostiles in the area. And he kind of
Ain't
looks.
that always the way when it's off the books?
He says, "So we're going to provide you with a little bit of a distraction outside of Atmo. And once we have that underway, you're going to slip in the back door. Come in from the dark side of the planet and come in atmosphere and low."
Sounds like you've already got this whole thing planned out for us.
Well, we already had a mission planned.
And then, can I ask why you would choose us?
And I'll be completely honest with you, Captain. It's easier to risk non-alliance assets than it is to risk alliance assets. We're going to pay you well because it's risky.
Is he really going to pay them when we get back and Jude and I are being like rushed off to die, basically?
He basically kind of has. I mean, he's on a freaking fleet carrier. Well, oh yeah. By the way, the fleet carrier is falling just behind out of sensor range. I forgot. He can read his fucking brain. I don't have any more secrets. This fucking sucks.
Hey, I spent like 4 sessions not digging around people's heads that often.
And now it's like an addiction.
Yeah,
Well,
then I
now
guess
that everybody else out of character knows I can do it, it's like not hard to just say I'm doing it.
Yeah. So I
Wait,
will...
hold on. Is there like a tell? Like a tell when you're reading somebody's mind?
Okay, so the only way they're going to know that I'm reading a mind or that I'm even possibly capable of it is if they have advanced technology on them that actually allows them to detect readers, which is expensive and rare. But at this point, if they had it, that would have been something
like
that would have been...
officer might have access to.
It's also not like a handheld device.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'd also be something that, like him being alerted to the fact there's a reader somewhere would be definitely in his mind.
But like, what I'm more so saying is like you yourself, like you have to like stare at them like super intently, like you get a little nosebleed or something.
Scanners.
So I mean, like, okay, if you remember from the show,
just
like
walk up
River,
to him and just like
did
touch
it, like,
his head.
subconsciously. Her problem was that she was also sort of like traumatized by all the secrets and information she was holding on to, but none of it was ever hard for her. I mean, she was reading crew members from like a deck away. I mean,
yeah, that's fair. In that whenever she like
remember when
this fucking Badger, whenever like Badger comes on, she automatically just like adapts to it. Okay,
yeah, she
that's fair.
basically turns into him. And remember when she detected the Reavers before they hit the city?
yeah,
She was literally reading the Reavers' mind and what their intent was when they got there. She was seeing their fantasies. And they were outside of atmosphere. Because their emotions were also very intense.
So my reader abilities are pretty strong because I am a reader. Like I took the distinction, but then reading people uses like the no skill, but I also have a specialization in reader. Like, and to try to keep things from overwhelming me, I also took a specialization under focus for willpower, so I can try to like manage all the shit that's going on in my head because it can be overwhelming at times. Like reading Jude was overwhelming.
Yep, like reading the captain was overwhelming.
Yeah, but that one, like, that literally scared the shit out of me because it wasn't just reading him. It was knowing that we were walking into the same crap that he had been through. That's what freaked me out. You were the first person I read.
Hooray!
Hooray! All right. So, All right, so he kind of looks at you all over, and he's like, I know it's a horrible situation to be in. You understand that we are demanding this. We're offering payment, but in the end, to deny the alliance is not good business.
I hold out my hand once again.
He shakes it forcefully, and he says, oh, by the way, Captain, or should I say, by the way, Doc Galveston. He says, pulls it out. He says, we figured you might need this. And he throws a device to you. And you catch it. And it is a device that is insanely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It is a tissue regenerator. Almost like a 3D printer for tissue. And he says,
Does it mean he's gonna fix his face?
he says, no.
Nah, it's too late.
Well,
That's too late for that. I
Technically,
I took the distinction. It's too
I
late.
I know. But technically, if you ever wanted to buy off the distinction and replace it with something else, they could literally remove all the skin from that side of your face and all the scar tissue, and then use these type of technologies to repair the damaged muscle tissue and the damaged skin.
They could give you a face transplant. That's a real thing.
That's a real thing too.
facelift.
Face.
Yeah, we're gonna go meet a bunch of Reavers. Do you want one of their faces?
Face.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the Reavers have tons of spare faces laying around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Pick
really
pick
do.
pick of the litter, you know.
So
You know-
Exactly. I'm sure they're
know-
preserved exactly perfectly for transplant.
yeah, they're
I
pinned
could
to
eat a
the wall.
peach for hours. That was a face-off joke. No, it was wasted on
Oh
you.
God, that's because it's a horrible
Wasted.
film.
Wasted on you.
I never saw it.
Maybe somebody didn't want to laugh at that joke.
Oh. All right, so he kind of like looks at you all and he
That's
says,
just PG.
yeah. You're getting glared at, Cassie.
I'm always getting glared at.
Well,
What's this guy's name again that I'm going through his head?
oh shit. Jude, do you remember his name?
Steve.
Coben Blue, I believe.
Oh yeah, Coben Blue,
What's his
Coben
rank?
Blue.
Captain.
It was
the
like
only-
Corbin
that's his
Blue. He's
insignia.
from High School Musical.
Real rank?
Huh? Oh
Is that his
shit!
real-
Fucking asshole. He is a general.
Oh
He's
my
actually-
gosh.
He's actually fleet command. So
So what you're
This
saying
is-
is, if we took him hostage,
it would be
No,
interesting.
let's not.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You know what, Ray? Like,
What, Jonathan? What?
this guy
read
has
all the
got to have
questions.
way more secrets buried in the head than what I'm dealing with right now that I actually asked about.
Yep.
So, I'm going to do a deep dive for the good shit.
What was that? What was that saying? What don't put you just put who in front of a reader?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You just put key members of Alliance Parliament and intelligence in a room with a reader.
Man.
Jonathan's gonna get you all killed.
Wait. In fairness, he already plans to kill me.
Yes, he does.
So, I have nothing to lose right now.
You have nothing to gain.
Oh, no. He might know something that totally could help me out of this at some point, but I have nothing to lose. He plans to have me murdered.
I'm using the same one. Fuckity fuck.
Oh,
I
come
don't
on, get
see
those
any other
complications.
roles that I can modify.
Ooh.
Fucking.
Ooh. Oh, that is so horrible.
Oh man.
Okay, look,
Holy
guys, here's the deal, though. I'm so low on plot points, I can't afford to buy those.
Wait. How many plot points do you have?
I have 3, but I'm gonna need them for the roll to actually
I still
dig
got
around
a
in his
20.
head.
Damn.
So that's a 19. I'm taking. Are you buying the 3? Is it a 17 or I'm sorry? Is it a 20?
It's a 20.
Okay.
That's my 7th plot point tonight. So let me see. That's 6.
Can we give people plot points?
No, but anybody from the crew can buy those.
Absolutely. I buy those.
I can't afford to buy them.
100% I buy those.
I was gonna say I'll drop 3 right now.
I mean, I haven't used any of my plot points, and like we're at 10 o'clock, so I don't think I'm going to really need plot points at this point in time. So yeah, I'm 100% spending 2 plot points to buy those. And you know what? I'm gonna let Jonathan tell you how fucked you are.
Can I make that a D8 distinction for big secrets?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can actually win this, then that's big secrets that are about to be revealed. All right.
You realize I haven't fully fleshed out this universe yet. I was hoping to develop it a little first.
Were you hoping to develop it first? Is that what was going on?
A little bit, but that's okay. We're fine. We're fine.
Do we need to record another like 20-minute off camera?
No,
this is gonna be like an hour long.
Doing it on the fly. Doing it on the fly.
We're doing it live
into a camera. Ooh.
Okay. Well, that's not great. But I have a 13 at the moment. I'm going to spend 1 plot point to use my eidetic memory.
I buy that.
Huh? Oh, that's if you buy it. Yeah.
To cancel out one of my own.
Okay. So this gets added also. So right now I have a 12. So now I have a 23. And then I'm going to spend my last plot point to roll my D10 Big Damn Hero die.
Holy shit.
So I have 23 against your 20. So I stepped you up twice.
Holy shit.
God damn.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah.
God damn.
In fairness, you gave me nothing to lose.
No.
Yeah.
It was meant to be that type of scenario. So this is what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having come to watch the game tonight. I've got to write an entire world real fast because someone just raped it. Okay, so readers, don't let them in your Firefly game ever. But no, so seriously though, we do got to go over a lot of stuff, and this is going to take a while for me to make sure we flesh out. We're gonna have to do this a little bit offline, Jonathan, because number one, we're gonna start next session right at this point, and the reason we're gonna start next session right at this point is because you're still gonna have to make another roll, Jonathan. Because you're about to get an information dump that is not only large and excessive, but a lot of it is going to be really, really disturbing. So you're gonna
For the whole time.
Learn the truth about Reavers.
You're gonna have to make a very, very, very hard roll to control yourself.
Is this my role to not turn into River?
This is your role. This is your role because you just basically, what you did is you took on. Remember what Reaver did with Badger when she took on his personality?
Okay.
That's how deep you went into this man's head. So you may come out of this with a newfound loyalty to the Alliance.
Well, that'll be really ironic when they kill me.
Yep. But I'm an officer.
For king
I'm
and
not an
country.
officer. I'm a general.
Mhm.
All right,
Call
so
now.
but seriously, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for the evening. Um, thank you guys so much. It is going to be an interesting session next session. Humble bundle. Yes, I already got them, Captain. I got them already. So, and I did the big bundle, so I got them all. I'm a junkie. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, guys. It was great. Jonathan, readers are bad, Jonathan. We're not doing that no more.
That's why you never. It's the same reason you never let somebody play a psionic in a D&D game.
Well, the psionics aren't. Well, no, the psionics are just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
But no, reader, that's ouchies. But no, it's okay. I'm just gonna have to make sure that things happen badly. But yes, so
Oh wait, hold on. They were happening greatly so far.
actually, this game so far has been fucking amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
it
Yeah.
has been
You know what?
fucking outstanding. It's been great, and it is wow gonna be into some new levels of crazy. But to go over everything real quick, please, guys, we are really trying to make sure that we can get this content out to more people. So if you can, share us out on Facebook, share us out on Twitch. Well, you can't really share us on Twitch, but share our Twitch stream to other people. We want to get this content out to more people. We want to increase our followership. And remember, if we can get to 15 viewers as an average, and we were close to it tonight, and we had like 12 viewers as an average tonight, I think. If we can get to 15 viewers as an average, Jonathan will donate $100 to Extra Life. And if we can get up to 20, that's $200 that is going to go to Extra Life. And so if we can do that, that would be so amazing, and we would all appreciate it so much. The kids would appreciate it. I mean, this is all for them, and this is just a way for the gaming community to give back. So if you can, please help donate to Extra Life. The links are in chat. We will. Any donation is tax deductible as always. If you meet all the rules for tax deductible stuff, they say that all over the Extra Life site, but they don't tell you that you have to do $1 billion worth of donations to get a deduction. But it's still for a good cause. It's still a good program, and the money, like I said, goes to help kids. And they have a great distribution system. They have a great relationship, working relationship with the hospitals. The money goes where it needs to go, and it goes to where they say it's going to go. Like ours is going to the Cook Children's Hospital here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and that literally the donations we're going to be putting in are going to go to that hospital. That's how this Extra Life works. They've got a great system and a great setup. If you ever want to run Extra Life, you can find local hospitals in your area that the charity will go to, and they will basically, you can set it all up with Extra Life. It took us 10 minutes to set the Extra Life situation up, guys. It was great. So if you can donate, please do. If you can't donate, share out the Extra Life link, share out the Facebook page, and help us get these contributions up there. We just want to try and help, and this is one of the best ways we can at this time. Also, remember for the show itself, the race to 8K, like the page, follow the page, share out the contest. I'm going to post the link back up in there just now. I just got to go get it out of my email. Follow us on Twitch. If you follow us on Twitch, you're going to be entered in a contest to win that scene of the HD minis with the bar scene, the terrain, and everything like that. These are incredibly detailed minis. They're amazing. They're great, and we will be sending them to you directly. They're already printed. Well, actually, I'm going to print out another copy because I want one. But they're already printed out, and they're ready to go, and they're incredible, and they're so freaking detailed. The banquet table, you can see this knife still stabbed in the roast pig on the banquet table. It's freaking amazing. And so you follow us. It's free, and you get entered into the contest automatically if you're a follower. Subscribe and you get entered into the contest to win that limited edition set of books with the chromed out covers. Like I said, if you ever go to the game store and you have all these people D&D and all these books laying everywhere, you know how it is. You're trying to find your books at the end of the night. It takes 20 freaking minutes as everyone grabs the books and looks at the edges of the books and tries to identify them. This means you'll always know where your books are. This means you'll always be able to identify them, and you'll be out of the store in minutes. All right. So then you can go stand outside and talk outside for 3 hours. It's a game store. What are you gonna do? And then you also make sure that if you can, you go ahead and go shop locally if you can. Now, we are saying that if you do not have to go anywhere, don't. Stay home and stay safe. If you can shop at a local game store, if they offer curbside pickup, if they're requiring masks for visits, if they're doing all that stuff that makes it as safe as possible, then we are encouraging you to go ahead and try and patronize your local game store. And if they're like the one we did tonight, if they're like a Cosmic Comics and cards, they're actually offering to do mail order, and that is going above and beyond. They are doing everything they can to make sure that they're watching out for the gaming community. And for that, we will share their information out. We will make sure people know about them, because that is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Doing that extra effort during a time like this, that's how you know who actually cares about your gaming community right there. All right. And also, make sure that you guys check out The Keep. Right, Jude?
Yeah.
Right, Lauren, I should say. We're out of character now.
No. I feel like at this point I'll answer to both.
Because everyone's like, Jude, save us.
Jude's turn to say that to them is going to be coming up very quickly. But yeah, no. So
go ahead and tell us all about it.
You're good. I am the current DM over at The Keep, and we are working our way through a 5e based homebrew setting. Getting very close to the end of our current dungeon, so if you haven't had time to check us out yet, now would be a great time. We're about to jump into some really cool stuff. And I think from here, the players have learned a little bit about a beholder and their lair in this area, and I think we'll probably be jumping into that coming up really soon. So That should be a lot of fun. We'll see how my guys handle it.
Question, Lauren, how many followers would you say that you need to be an affiliate so we can all subscribe to you?
Oh, we're like 18. I want to say 18 followers away.
I think less now because I just went and followed.
Yeah, so there's like
we're
right
getting
now
really
there's
close.
nine people in the viewing right now. You know, I'm assuming some of that is us. But, you know, if the people in this chat right now, everybody followed, like, you'd be at least halfway there, you know. So you just need, like, 9 people, you know. So if those people wanted to go to the wonderful link, you know, posted
right
by
there.
the Deckbot, just
right
there. All they got to do is just click that link and click follow. Like, you know, you'd be making, you know, our pilot really happy. And a happy pilot is a safe crew.
There you go. That's what we're
awesome.
talking about right there. Having the pilot be happy.
Jude, happy crew.
Yeah. Happy pilot, happy life, right? But anyway, but please go check out The Keep. I've watched the show before. I'm a fan. I haven't been able to watch it this week because work's been crazy, and I've been trying to get ready for this. But you know, you have a YouTube as well, right, Lauren?
We do. YouTube.com/TheKeepRPG.
So, how many followers do you have on YouTube?
Good question. I can find that out.
Well, the reason
Not
I'm
as
asking,
many even as on Twitch, I think.
The reason I'm asking is because YouTube wouldn't let me have dinner and a game until I got to 1,000 followers.
Wow.
So I'm wondering why they like you better.
26 subscribers is what YouTube says.
Mm-hmm.
And I just subscribed because...
Oh, God.
27 now.
Oh, Kitty got her. She didn't have the spray bottle ready and handy. But anyway, so let's go ahead and say good night to these lovely people, ladies and gentlemen. We've kept them up long enough, and people need to squirt cats with water bottles. And
Jonathan wanted to say something.
What do you want to say, Jonathan?
Are we going to name the episode publicly, or are we going to do that?
Yes, we still have to name the episode. I forgot about that.
Yeah, guys, this is season 1, episode 5, and just remember, if you don't start subscribing, we only have 9 episodes left before cancellation.
Yeah. I mean, maybe less. We'll see what happens on this.
Maybe less.
I have a episode name recommendation. I'm recommending Out of the Blue.
Ooh. Oh, that's clever.
I could kind of spin off of that and say deep blue. Because they're fucking sharks. Those lion bastards. I like Out of the Blue. That's a good one.
I do like that.
Anyone else got
Or here's a good one. Like reading a book.
I think that gives it away too much.
I don't know, cause I mean honestly, like, we left off last episode of like you reading Jude, but Out of the Blue is a really good one.
I feel like everything that happened in this episode was sort of out of the blue, and then I read everything out of General Blue. Wait, is Blue his real name, or is that just the name that he goes
No,
by?
that's his real name.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
If I was a former
but the-
Alliance
but the-
pilot,
but
I
the-
would die.
But the dabu dee dabu die is in the parentheses, of course.
Of course, absolutely.
Of course.
All right.
Or okay, here's one. Seeing Blue.
Seeing blue.
I don't know. Just play off of Seeing Red.
Yeah, I know.
Tangled up in blue.
Blue balls.
Nope.
Okay, we just descended into this madness now. So
Nope.
are we agreed on Out of the Blue?
Out of the
Yeah.
blue.
All right. Season 1, Episode 5, Out of the Blue. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you have to go anywhere, wear a mask. If
Look
you
at Lauren
can,
being a good
though,
doodle.
stay home. It's the only way to be safe. But if you have to go anywhere, wear a mask. It's not just for your protection, it's for everyone's protection. We want you to come back. We want you to join us again. We want you to be part of our family. And that's the only way we can guarantee it is if you stay safe. All right? So do us that favor. We will love you forever. And just always, always remember, no matter what, at dinner and a game, we will always save you a seat at the table. Good night, guys.
Finger.